crap that we're interested in.
I'm Keith Davidson.
I'm Papa Joey Stay.
I'm Tim Rice.
Searching for
the truth.
Exploring
the unexplained.
Investigating the paranormal. Subscribe now.
Hit the alert button.
Hit the alert button so you don't miss an episode. Welcome to The Truth
About Beer.
And... Veterans Day began as Armistice Day on November 11th, 1919, celebrating the one-year anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress passed a resolution in 1926 for annual observance, and November 11th became a national holiday in 1938. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower officially changed the name of the holiday from Armistice Day to Veterans Day. In 1968, the Uniform Holidays Bill was passed, moving Veterans Day to the fourth Monday in October, only to be returned to November 11th by Gerald Ford in 1975. On this day, we honor those who have served our country and those who continue to serve our country. So join us as we celebrate veterans alive and in spirit.
Where are we?
We're live.
There we are. Little
in
lag.
the dark. Live in the dark.
Are we always in the dark?
Yeah. Always. I learn something new all the time. So.
What's that?
Because I never knew about Armistice Day until I did that voiceover. I was like, wow, I'm learning something.
I didn't know the date had been changed.
Me neither.
So I didn't know that Ford brought it back.
Yeah. Like a year later.
76. Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Very strange. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Going to
And-
bring up our comments here. There's a lot of controls on
And
this.
happy early Veterans Day to
Veterans
all
Day.
our veterans out there.
Yes. And we want to wish a happy birthday to the Marine Corps.
Oh, that's right.
Today's Marine Corps.
1775, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Shane. Shane will be on
Yeah.
later. So we got Wendy joining us.
Hi, Wendy.
Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Can't read the other ones.
What up?
Heston.
Heston
Heston.
Gross.
Who says, yo, Jeff?
Welcome.
Yo. He's waiting on Jeffrey.
Well, we should bring Jeff on.
Let's
Well,
go.
we should. We'll
Let's
get
do
this.
that.
Let's get the show started.
Our guru of the suds.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I didn't get a shot before we started the show.
Get slow start.
So I'm going to have to pound a couple of these real quick. I don't know. Let's see.
I drank a random Guinness that I had just laying around
I've never heard of that.
from the Black and Tan episode we did. I still have the other 5 left from the 6-pack, so it's just not a beer I drink normally.
Kathleen's on. Hey, Kathleen.
Hey,
Look, Jeff's on too. Michelle's on. Hey, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle.
Steven's on.
Steve's on.
What's up, Steve?
Another
All right.
yo.
Another yo.
And so now it's time for Yo Jeff to tell us about
Yo beer.
Yo Beer.
Oh, yeah. So today we are doing my favorite beer right now. Absolute all-time number one favorite beer right now. Yep. And my favorite New England IPA. Obviously, if it's my favorite overall, it's going to be my new favorite New England. So it's the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Hazy IPA. Voodoo Ranger, of course, they've got a ton of beers under this. But they've got even way more than I realized. We've got a buddy right now. He may even be listening in. Jason, he's in Colorado right now, so near where New Belgium is at. But anyway, he was showing us some pictures in a Marco of a bunch of different voodoos that he had picked up. And he got the atomic pumpkin that you guys talk about. So I was jealous, but we aren't privileged to all that here in Utah. So with this one thing though that I'm going to do a little bit different. I was showing you guys a couple weeks ago. I picked up this draft top from
I
Amazon
ordered one.
that opens this. Oh, you did order one? Nice.
No, it's in my shopping cart. Actually,
Oh, all right. All right. Well,
I need
go ahead
to-
and click on.
push order.
So Heston, who was commenting, saying, "Yo, Jeff," he's the one that actually told me about this. So I work with him, and actually Heston is the one that introduced me to the Hatch Chili Gatos.
There you go.
So he's a good beer friend to have. All of my friends are good beer friends to have.
All right, I want to see how it work.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll show you how this works. Now it's a little messy, so I'm actually kind of brave doing this at my desk and not over a sink. So grab some paper towels. So there's little blades on the inside, and so as you squeeze it, the blades push out, and so it goes. You open it up, center it right over the top of the can. You'll kind of feel when it's nice and level, and then you just squeeze it. The blades open up, and then I could pick it up just from the actual device itself. And then you slowly start spinning. You kind of gently hold it from the bottom. As soon as it breaks the seal, though, the can gets a little more soft. So you can easily crush the can if you're pushing a little too hard from the bottom. But anyway, it's like a can opener. Makes a few twists there, so just a little back and forth. Some cans are easier than others. I've had a few that were really thick aluminum or something because they took quite a bit to cut through. Then I did it like with a Coke can, and that cut no problem. But so anyway, once you think you've got it, you go ahead and pop it off. And then the only problem is because it's aluminum, there's no way to like magnetically grab the top of it. So make sure you've got clean hands. And then you just got to kind of push on the lid a little bit if it didn't break all the way. And then it'll float to the top, and then you fish out the lid. So
Wow.
you're obviously not going to be doing this or the lid just sinks. Normally it floats to the top. Either way, doesn't matter. Whatever.
I don't think you'll swallow it.
If it comes to the top, I'll pull it out. But anyway, so it seems a little gimmicky, but honestly, I really like it, especially because I enjoy IPAs, and normally I'll always pour my IPAs into a glass.
And so
you
around
want
the
the full aroma.
So is it sharp edges?
No, not at all. It's totally smooth because it cuts from the inside out.
Wow.
Yeah, and even if I rub my finger on the inside of it, it's still not a sharp edge.
Wow.
It does an awesome job of how
What's
it cuts
called
it.
again?
Draft top.
Draft top. All right.
Yep. There's a few different ones out there. I just picked this one up on Amazon. It's like $25.
I'm
Really
going
more
there.
than it should be for what it is, but it's worth it.
It reminds me of one of those aluminum tubing cutters, you have to work
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. And hey, look what came to the top.
Well, there it is. That's awesome.
So yeah, but anyway, it's cool because really with an IPA, you can drink it straight out of the can. Stays nice and cold, but you get all the aroma.
Don't they make beer cans that the whole top pops off like that?
They do, yeah. There's a few of them out there.
Okay.
I wish that would just get more popular.
Yeah, that little hole just sucks, huh?
Oh, well, head on.
But anyway, so cheers.
Cheers.
Wow,
Cheers to everybody out there.
that's a little different than what I was expecting.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not.
This is your favorite?
I love this. This is absolutely my favorite right now.
You're right about the grapefruit, huh?
Yeah.
You can totally smell that and taste.
Yeah.
Ask me in another couple months, maybe it'll change. But for right now, yeah, I'm loving this one. Actually, I kind of take it back. So there's another one, buddy of mine in Georgia, Gentry. He brought up one called Southern Juice. That's a New England IPA. That was the best hazy I've ever had. But I have to just kind of get that out of my mind because I don't have access to that.
Right.
So I'll just make myself sad if I think about it too much. So this one I can get.
Good, man. Thank you.
I think I saw Gentry on here.
Yeah. Well, I saw Steve say hi to Gentry. So
Yeah, he said he was going to hop on, so he may be there. So cheers, Gentry.
Very good.
cool.
Cheers, Heston, Jason, Rick,
Like
Derek.
the-
There's a few guys that they're hopping on.
Hey,
Like to
Mike.
naked. Welcome.
So give us a quick rundown again of the hazy.
Yeah, definitely. And real quick, we'll talk about New Belgium. So New Belgium Brewery, so they're out of Fort Collins, Colorado. They also have a brewery in Asheville. But they started in 91 in Fort Collins. They sounds like, everything you read about them, they just seem like a cool company to work for. They're a great brewery. Their beers are amazing. Fat Tire, of course, being their number one beer that most people would recognize. Voodoo Ranger, though, being really popular, especially having only been out since 2016, the Voodoo Ranger line, because they have so many different lines. But yeah, that was just 2016. They did that one. But anyway, they're cool. They, as of like in 2000, they started a employee stock option program. And by like 2013, they were 100% employee owned, which I thought was cool. Instead of them selling out to, like InBev whatever. They basically just let the employees buy the company at that point, which obviously just brings more passion to what they do.
Yeah.
But just last year, it looks like they were acquired by the Australian subsidiary of Kirin Beer.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that means that they're no longer employee owned, or if that company is still honoring the employee ownership, the employee stock ownership at least. I don't really know, honestly, but I know it increased their distribution, which is, usually why these guys will
DRS on
allow
this?
themselves. What's that?
The ABV.
The AB, yeah, that.
TRS.
ABV, IBUs, 7.5.
I'm gonna have a new one every time. You know that, right?
It's all good. The RSVPs,
Yeah.
What were the IBUs on?
What is it?
Yeah, I saw
This one doesn't say. They got to be pretty low. If I had to guess,
not really.
It's not bitter.
It's not
no.
bitter. It's really smooth. This is really smooth.
I would guess 35 to 40.
just
Honestly,
30,
I bet
30.
it's really low.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very good.
It's
Yeah.
really-
So then diving into the Juicy Hazy. So New England IPA. So kind of a recap. We've talked about this in other episodes. New England IPA, of course, the official name. Juicy, Hazy, just kind of nicknames for it. But it's a IPA that does a dry hopping process. So with most IPAs, it's a wet hop, meaning they add the hops at the beginning of the boil, which brings out more of the bitterness and less of the fruitiness. These guys, anytime you're doing New England, you're adding the hops after the boil. And so that doesn't release nearly as much bitterness, as you can tell. They're also generally using hybrid hops, like the Citra hop, the El Dorado hop. There's a bunch of different hops out there that'll bring out more of like the fruity grapefruit, mango type flavors. And doing the dry hop process also helps with that. And then one of the most unique things about it is they add oatmeal. Of course, that gets filtered out, but that's one of the distinct things about a New England IPA is adding the oatmeal, which adds that cloudiness and the soft mouthfeel, as they would say.
I have to say, it's one of the strongest beers to smell. The smell is very aromatic.
It
It
was. Yeah.
Kind of like I breathe the air off of it.
Yeah.
I said you can smell the grapefruit right off the bat.
Yeah, it's really wild.
Wendy said, I thought you said dry hump.
Maybe don't go there.
Go off the rails real quick.
You just started.
That's only after 3 of them in, But
After 3.
Yeah, you should have saw some of the comments. We did a card a few weeks back. Tried to do it on Fridays, whoever their beer trivia kind of things, and we did one on the on the, the dry hop. And yeah, you should have saw some of the photos that came back. People commenting on the dry hump.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
We talk about head on this show. We talk about dry humping, 2 fingers. It's just a filthy show. Let's be honest.
Meanwhile, the brewery's listening, going, Jesus, guys,
It's definitely unfiltered, right?
Because it's a hazy.
It is.
See, we learn a lot. We learn a lot from you, Jeff. We really do. I mean,
every week.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's so much fun.
Good. And I shouldn't reveal my secrets, but all I do is just Google shit and then I spew it out to you guys. Like I've known this for years.
I thought you were a real guru.
Yeah. I mean, he just looks really cool sitting
You
there
are.
and talks about it.
He does.
But actually, I was talking to my buddy Gentry, who I mentioned in Georgia, about this, and it's like that. I mean, that's how you learn. It's just normally you would like read a book, you'd be a little more intelligent. Right. But like in today's world, what am I going to go to? Of course, I'm going to go to YouTube, Wikipedia, Google, and you absorb it, and then you spit it back out. It's no different than like a scientist learning something and regurgitating it, right?
Right.
And now you've put it out on the internet. I mean, you are.
Now it's gospel.
It is.
Exactly. Right.
You're a specialist. And, yeah.
Yep. There's no going back.
Well, like Joey always says, in Google we trust, right?
We learn so much.
Learn so much.
Yep.
I have to say, I was such a Budweiser guy until I met you. And now I've experimented with so many different beers. And I want to thank you because you opened my horizon. I expanded my horizon.
So, that's awesome.
I was always afraid to touch the foo-foo beers.
You should have seen the first time we told Tim we were going to do an IPA on the show. He's like, I don't like IPAs.
Yeah, I love them.
We're like, okay, just wait and see.
I've acquired it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But some of them were given to me from friends, and it's like the first I shouldn't have had that, or they should have explained to me,
Yeah.
here's the grapefruit coming at you, or
Right.
something like that, because it caught me off guard.
Well, see, that's the thing about IPAs. I mean, there's the beers that you can drink multiple,
And there's
multiples of. I mean,
ones
like
that you can just
I
have.
mean, like Budweiser, you can drink those
all
all
day.
day, right? You're not going to sit and drink an IPA all day. No,
Yeah.
they're
But you
meant to be
appreciate it, though.
really enjoyed,
Yeah.
and they are.
And you appreciate it. It's very, very good.
Yes.
I've learned how to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially out of a glass, like you say, the aroma. It's,
Mhm.
you definitely don't want to drink an IPA just straight out of the can.
Amazing.
I've
Yeah, and I'd be good for 3 of these, though.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
5. You got that.
Yeah, these ones are super smooth. I definitely
Dragon
probably
Milk, you
give
get
these
it.
back.
12.
but that was really
It was,
smooth.
yeah, that was delicious.
That was dangerous
That was
stuff.
good.
Which one was that?
The Dragon's, milk.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the very first episode I did with you guys.
Yeah.
That was a
That
12.
was dangerously smooth. Yeah.
That's a date beer.
Yeah. That's one you want to give to your date.
Oh, that's funny.
We should actually revisit that one coming up here. Maybe just after the new year or something.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go
do a
back to-
recap of our favorite
Let's
beers
do
that
like
we
a top
did.
5 or
Yeah, maybe that's what we could do.
Top
That'd
3.
be fun.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, because I like that one. We could do that. There was that Sequench Ale. If you guys remember from Dogfish
yeah.
Head,
So
Mhm.
good.
a really light, salty one. I don't know about you guys, but I love that one. It's just a very unique one that I don't go to that often. But when I do, kind of like the Dragon's Milk. It's just, I mean, 2 totally different beers, but ones that you don't drink all the time, but they're so damn good when you do.
Have you had the let's see. They do the Dead Guys Ale. Who's that? What's that brewery? Stone.
Stone Ice.
Oh yeah.
They have one that's kind of like that. Well, no, it's not, because it doesn't have as much lime in it. But it's
Right.
it's a like a Mexican beer that's already got the lime and the salt in it
Oh really? All right.
already. Can't remember what it's
That's
called.
interesting.
We didn't do it.
We did do it.
Did we do it?
Yeah, that was
We did-
before Jeff.
We did Ghost. We did.
It was beer that I had, and I brought it out, and it was when we were still at my place. And it had,
And I love lime and salt, so I'm pretty sure.
it had a sugar skull on it.
I've got the can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
So anyway, I can't
I
think
don't
of
know
the
if I've
name
seen
of it. I'd tell you, but it has
Yeah.
a sugar skull and it's a white can,
Yep, I remember that one.
and it's by Stone.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. And that's, I mean, to that point, even before I started doing the show with you guys, you'll have to let me know some of them that you drink before the recommend. And yeah, we can do like a top 5, top 10
There have
countdown.
been some pretty dangerous ones.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah.
that
Oh,
we
La
did what-
Chauffeur. or
La
whatever it was.
Chauffeur, yeah.
For the
on the gnome one.
gnome one. That was good too.
Yeah, that was expensive stuff.
Yeah.
La Chauffeur.
It's like $30 for 4 of them.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
That's
is.
it.
Look at
$8.
What's it
$8 per
called?
can.
That's it.
There it is. I got
How
that.
much a can?
I think it was $7.99 a can, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
This is called Buena Visa.
Or
Wow.
maybe it was more than that.
It was
Yeah.
expensive. It was really. It cost me like
$12.99 a can?
no.
It's $8.99.
It was at least $8 or $9 a can.
Yeah.
Or bottle
It
for the
was-
bottle.
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Man.
Yeah. So Buena Visa by Stone.
Huh. That's
It's
awesome.
a salt and lime lager.
It's a great can.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Lindsay.
a good one.
It was tasty.
That could be in our top 5.
That could be.
See, that's why you collect cans after we do a show.
That's exactly why. Because if you don't remember, I got a whole. It's all
Yeah.
above my bar.
Well, that's what we got to do. Go down and look at that and
Yeah.
go, let's see. What was our favorite?
You know which
It's going
one?
to be a tough one.
You know which one I really liked? It was like a cider though. Was the one we did for the Atomic America
Oh, that
episode?
was
The
a cherry bomb.
Oh my god,
Cherry
that
bomb.
was
Wasn't it
so
called
good.
cherry bomb?
Yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah.
Cherry cider.
Cherry
Maybe
cider,
you know
yeah.
what? Maybe when we
Nice.
do our ciders, we'll bring that one back up on the ciders.
Yeah, that was really tasty.
It was really good.
Mm.
Nice.
You might be able to find it by you too.
I'll have to take a look. There are a few ciders at the liquor store here.
It-
And
it
if it's low enough alcohol content, I can get it at the grocery store too. But yeah, I'll have to check it out.
That's a big bottle. It comes in a big bottle.
All right.
So yeah, I'll send you a picture of it.
Right on.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But anyway, that's all I've got about this beer and about New Belgium. And
Well, thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
it's probably my favorite brewer, actually.
yeah, these guys do it right. They really do.
Because there's so many of their different varieties that I just truly do enjoy.
See, for me, it's a mood thing because, you know, when we did that lime Pilsner from Uinta, I fell in love with that. Like I was buying 6-pack after 6-pack. So I really think it's a mood thing. It depends on what you're,
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during the summer. That's an awesome summer
Seasonal.
beer. It's
Seasonal mood beer.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, right on.
Man,
Awesome.
thank you, Jeff.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, man.
Cheers again, and we
Cheers.
will figure out a beer for next week, and I'll see you guys again then.
All right.
Are we going to do
Can't
the
wait.
president's drinks next week? Or are we doing a beer next week?
Let's do what was that?
It's up to you guys. You tell me.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about that.
We'll
off
talk
air.
about that off air. Yeah, exactly.
What
All
was
right.
All right. Right on. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good night. We'll see you.
Peace, man.
We'll see you around.
Cheers.
What was that popular thing all the presidents drink?
Madeira.
Madeira.
Madeira. I found it
We
in
have
Total
to-
Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it. So
We have to check that out.
that'd be kind of fun.
Madeira and champagne. And
And I got champagne.
what would you think was the third thing?
The most
There was a top
popular-
3. Yeah.
Whiskey was up there.
That's
Whiskey
true.
was pretty
It was
popular.
wine.
Wine was there
Oh,
too,
yeah.
but Madeira kind of falls into the wine category though.
Okay.
But champagne was big.
So, and it was whiskey and
Yeah.
And then there were the few presidents that had their own drinks named after them.
That's what I
Those-
thought
yeah.
we should
Those would
maybe
be the good
try.
ones to do, yeah.
Yeah. We each
That'd be
take a
fun.
drink and we each try it. You know, that'd be kind of cool. I think that'd be a good time.
Oh, who's all joining us?
We got a lot
Still.
of people on tonight.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Welcome.
I do want to say one thing before we continue on to our show here.
Please.
Everybody, most of you who are on right now probably have subscribed to our channel, but if you haven't, please go do so now and reach out to your friends and have them do it because we're all going to be in a shitload of trouble here if we don't shave soon.
Yeah, we have to shave.
We've got to get to 1,000
please,
subscribers.
Please, we
So-
have to shave.
so-
I'm
I'm
begging
going
you.
for the Santa Claus look.
I'm begging you over.
You're not white enough though.
It
I
needs to
did-
finish growing out because I still have some just for men
I did just
In
for
the-
men too.
White?
in there.
It was all white. before
Gray?
that. No, please. I want to stay married. Please.
Yeah, we need to. Thank you, Gentry.
Thank you, Gentry.
We
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
You're
Just
awesome.
one
dude.
step closer to a.
Gentry is one talented dude.
Oh, he is super talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guitar player and singer. And
Awesome.
he writes some great stuff.
We'll have to friend up.
Yeah.
I have to check you out.
Yeah.
I love his
Yeah.
lyrics. His lyrics are great.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Very
thank
Yeah,
you.
but please subscribe. I need
Yes,
to shave.
send it to your friends.
Or we're
Ask
going to
your
have to
friends
come up with
to
another
subscribe.
idea.
Well, not that's what we agreed to.
That's what we agreed
We
to.
just got to get to 1,000.
I'm going to be divorced.
I know it's getting itchy.
It gets
I
past
think
that
I found
stage.
something
Yeah.
in here the other day.
Yeah, it's leftovers.
Leftover food.
Lord. You take a shower and things fall out of it. You gotta shave, man. I'm not used to this.
As long as a bird doesn't come flying out, I guess
Yeah,
you're
right.
okay.
Like I found an egg.
Oh man. So tonight we got some stories for
We
you.
do. And I want to give a big thanks to my dad, who's a veteran. And, you know, he's a man that his whole life has been about service. And so not only did he serve our country, but he's just totally lived a life of service, just serving his fellow man. And I was hoping to bring a story up so I can share it with you. They did they finally retired him 45 years after he actually retired.
Oh, wow.
They did the retirement ceremony and it was covered in the press and all that. It was just really cool. And so thankful to my dad. And
Didn't your dad just have a birthday recently?
he did. He just turned 90.
That is
Wow.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got to experience that 45 years later.
I'm looking forward to my brother Steve. He always posts stuff on Facebook on these special days. So I'm expecting he'll have a post on Facebook tomorrow for my dad. And I was hoping I could still it and show it tonight, but no.
No, didn't do it.
Dang it.
That's okay.
But-
I think we all have family that were military, huh? My dad was in the service as well.
My dad was a Marine instructor or sergeant or he taught I don't know. What do you call him?
Boot camp or whatever, or was he
Yeah, he taught
Drill sergeant?
drill sergeant? Thank you.
Drill
That's
sergeant,
what
yeah.
I was looking for.
That's why we don't talk anymore.
My son-in-law is a master sergeant
Oh, cool.
in the Air Force. And he's an airborne linguist.
That's right. You were saying. I remember you telling
Yeah,
me
so he
that.
speaks Mandarin Chinese.
That's awesome. That's cool. Very cool.
That's why I thank him for his service as well.
All my family had flat feet, so I have no history of military other than my dad. But
Mm.
You know, if I could do one of the big do-overs I would do in my life, if I could, is I would have
Going
joined
to the military.
I would have
I
joined
would
the
have gone to the
military.
Air Force totally.
Yeah, I would have been in the Air Force as
I would
well.
have been in the Air Force. That's what Morgan's talking about right now.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
Medic.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's doing her MA and she's looking at Air Force. She's very
Yeah,
interested.
and our last drummer,
Eric.
Eric, he quit playing music and left us high and dry.
He did
He's in
leave us high
Bethesda,
and dry.
Maryland right now at the Naval
Yep.
Academy,
Awesome.
right?
He's going to med school.
So he's
too,
going to
yeah.
med school.
Yep.
So yes, tell her to do it.
Yes.
It's the way to go.
I got in aviation 30 years ago and I don't regret it at all, but kind of wish it would have been in the Air Force.
Yep. Can't look back though.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
All we can do is
I can live vicariously through her.
we can honor those who
Yes.
serve.
Yes, we can.
And that's what we're going to do tonight.
And John was also in the military.
Yes.
So thank you for
Thank
service,
you, John.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
So, where do we start?
Well, we
There's some-
decided we wanted to talk about tie in our paranormal
We do.
with the military. And God knows there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Talk about Google.
Google.
You get Google overload when Google military ghost
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
So,
It's easier to know someone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not just ghost stories, though, because we're talking
But
paranormal. And
paranormal.
that's so anything the unexplained. So
So
we're going to talk about UFOs too.
yes, let's do that.
Who wants to start?
Whoa. I don't know.
Would you like to start, Tim?
I'll
Would
go-
you,
well,
you want to do the honors?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. My experience with veterans and pilots, because I was a flight attendant 27 years.
We lost one of our cameras.
I've sat in a lot of bars over the world, 19 different countries, 380 major cities. I've sat in a lot of bars and I've talked to a lot of pilots. And a lot of these pilots were ex-military, ex-Navy, Air Force, Marines. And they bring their stories to a bar when you've had a few beers and they kind of talk about them. And it's really, it's an eye-opening experience when you sit there and you're asking some guy that you're sitting with and he's quiet and you're like, hey, what's going on? What, you all right? He goes, yeah, I'm all right. It's just an anniversary date. This date was special to me because of, and he would tell me a story about an encounter he had back in the military. And I'm like, dude, that's incredible. And I would hear all these awesome stories about paranormal events that happened to them that they don't talk about in public life or in family life. They don't tell their families. They don't tell their friends. It's when they have a couple of beers and they're sitting there and it's on that date that it all comes back and they get very emotional and they start talking about it. There's been a number of times I've sit down and talked to these people that have opened up their hearts. And because of my UFO experience, they feel that it's okay to open up to me. And they've kind of let their guards down and told me things they shouldn't have told me. And it's amazing, amazing the stories they have of, I was one time, it was in 19 whatever, and we were flying here and this object came and it came right in front of us. This happens all the time. And if I weren't in that field and there in that situation with those ex-military, ex-Vietnam, pilots, I would have never heard these stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, very, very emotional. And it's something I kept to myself. I didn't repeat any of these stories. But, dude, they spilled their guts to me at the bar. and told me about things. I've had pilots tell me that they've seen aliens. I've had pilots that told me that they had a spaceship come in front of them and then they don't remember anything for 3 days. And they woke up in a hotel room and were told that nothing happened. I mean, these are true stories these guys have told me. And it's amazing to hear these stories. And this is something they don't tell their families, they don't tell their friends, but over a couple of beers at a bar and an anniversary, they let this stuff out. It was just amazing. So many stories I've heard. I can't be specific about, one or in particular, but that was probably the greatest thing about being in the airline was, working a 12-hour day, getting down, you get to the hotel, you go and you change clothes and you go down. Hey, you want to have a beer, happy hour? You want to debriefing? They call it debriefing. And we go down and sit down and have a beer. And some of these guys would like do a shot and a beer, but there were amazing, amazing stories these guys would tell me. And I have to believe they were true. I mean, they were a hair away from a tear in their eye. So I do believe them. And it was just so emotional to sit there and hear their stories, knowing that tomorrow you would wake up and you'd never speak about it again. But deep down inside, those stories are still in my heart and they're still in my mind. And I appreciate all of those guys that have come forward and told me.
Do you have any specific stories though you can share?
There's a gentleman that told me, and after he told me, he goes, I've said too much. And he said, please don't repeat this. But he was in an Air Force base, and he was taken into a secure area because he had seen something he wasn't supposed to see. And he actually saw aliens.
And we can call him Captain Fred.
We call him Captain Oblivious, Captain Anonymous. But yeah, he swears he was in front of gray aliens.
Wow.
And he said, I don't expect you to believe that. And I'm like, dude, I believe it. But some of these guys have told me stories that they're sworn they're still top security clearance, after they left the military. And they've told me about these alien encounters. And I'm just like, blew my mind away. And of course, I'd never repeat them.
Right.
But you wouldn't believe all the stories of UFOs and aliens that these guys have encountered. It's amazing. I don't know.
I just want to say something real quick as we get people saying that our cameras are out. We have a new toy that we're playing with here, so we can switch views on our cameras. So
as we're
talking, that's what we're doing. We're playing around with it, and it looks like this camera got off a little bit, but
it's a little personal.
It's a little off.
A little more personal.
So
yeah, that was supposed to be on you.
That one's supposed to be on me, but
we had a little red light.
I'll adjust that one while you're sitting there. How's that?
Okay. Well, I moved to the side so I didn't crowd Tim. So I just
come on over. But I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. It's amazing at what you can hear, the stories of these ex-military pilots that will tell you these stories that they don't tell anybody, their family, their friends, no one. But just because it was that day and it had come back at that time and it was hitting their mind and their heart, and they decided what could it hurt? I'll just tell this guy this story. And the stories are unbelievable. But I've had several pilots tell me about it. They've been face to face with alien beings.
Right. Well, now, you start to see now more of the stuff coming out in the news. So you think the people from the military, you think they're not as afraid to talk about it anymore because now
there's no fear of indictment or
right.
There's no fear of consequence as much anymore.
Right. So, in one of the episodes we did a while back, that the Atomic America one, we talked about some of the, UFO encounters with the military. So the stories go way back.
Oh yeah.
So,
but this is back in the day when UFOs were still hush hush. I mean, back in that, I'm thinking 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, back when there weren't.
Wasn't there one in the 80s that we talked about, Keith, that where the launch sequence started?
Yeah.
That was that was in the 80s.
Was that in New Mexico that happened? One of the missile bases there?
Montana.
Oh, was it
Montana or Wyoming or one of those.
They had launch codes and
just started. Yeah, they had to.
They all started arming, didn't they?
Yeah,
all the missiles started arming,
yeah.
and then they shut down. and they saw the object outside the base. Did they not?
Yeah.
If I remember the story correctly.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But see, back in the day, these guys, the guys I was flying with, they would tell you these stories. And back then, to go public with that would be absurd.
Mhm.
You know, they didn't have like sightings and all the
Right.
the shows they do now. But nowadays, every time you turn on a television show and see there's a pilot and there's a tic tac and they go, it's just everywhere. But back in the day, it was very, very voodoo or very taboo to talk about it.
Well,
And I appreciate all the stories all those guys told me, but it's so much more open now. But back then it was incredible. It was just, the stories are incredible. And you don't get it like you do on TV now. Nowadays, they're like, file 1361. Pilot was flying from here to here. And it doesn't give you all the drama. It doesn't give you all the emotion that it did sitting in the bar, looking the guy in the
No.
eye going, dude, I was face to face with an alien.
yeah.
I hope you guys can ever have an experience where you're sitting down with someone, looking in their eye, telling you they've been eye to eye with an alien. It's it's unbelievable. It's emotional. It's everything. It's
What was
pretty
that?
crazy. Gotcha.
I heard that. Yeah, you know what'd be crazy? I mean, Hollywood has totally messed with us, you know, because we see the Tic Tac video, you know, on TV, and it's like, isn't there something more? But what would it be like, though, to be that pilot or one of those, you know, Navy pilots that are tracking that thing, knowing that, hey, that's not one of ours, and that's too crazy to.
No, and it was similar to sitting down with Travis Walton.
Yeah.
It was very similar. I mean, when Travis Walton was, he didn't want to talk about his story. He wanted to talk about my story, but to sit down in front of someone that has had that encounter is just, I want to see emotional. It's just very dramatic and very emotional. And for these guys to have come up and told me these stories, it's as great of an experience as it was. It's Travis Walton talking to him.
Because he knew what happened to him.
Oh yeah.
So he wants to know what happened to you.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah, he
it's
didn't want to talk about.
I've told my story too many times.
He was only interested in my story. But these guys that have told me about their stories, it's just like, what do you say after they tell you this? You're just like, you can't go home and repeat it.
Right.
But you're totally convinced that it happened. And it's very emotional for them to even sit there and talk about it. You just have to suppress it.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to all these guys that have to live with this burden of knowledge that they have that they can't share with anyone. It's amazing. That's what I discovered.
Hey, I see somebody in the back office.
I do too. Should we bring him on?
Hey,
I think I know this guy.
I think we know him too.
hey,
Wow.
Shane Henning.
And he looks like that in person.
Hey, how's it going?
are you going to shave when we do?
Huh?
Can you hear us okay, Shane? Do you have headphones?
It's breaking up a little bit.
You got your headphones in?
Yeah, I do.
Of course, he lives by
No, I don't.
nuclear,
But I'm
power plant. So
maybe. Yeah, I'm by the nuclear power plant. No, I can't get them. I can't plug them in.
You have this glow to you.
yeah.
Do what?
I said you have a glow. He can't hear us good.
No,
Dude,
darn.
I give anything for that hairline.
Hey,
It's like a vampire hairline. That's freaking cool. I
He's-
love that.
He's going for the Amish look.
You're there.
He's there, but he froze.
Let's build a barn.
He's
he's frozen.
uh-oh.
Frozen.
Froze up.
Want to try it again?
We need to thank you for your service, Shane.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
United States Marine Corps
And happy birthday to the Marines today.
sniper.
He was a sniper.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They call them shooters.
All right, we'll wait till
Well, okay, whatever he was.
we'll wait till he comes back.
He's
We'll
a
see if he
straight
comes-
shooter.
See if he comes
We
back.
know that. So we'll wait for you to reanimate there, Shane, because we can still see you in the back office. You're frozen on us, darn it.
Yeah, he's frozen. Well, that's because he lives out in the
By a nuclear plant.
Yeah, he lives by Palo Verde.
Palo Verde.
He's way out there. You can't blame it on Julie, can he?
No, he can't.
It's got to be, the wind's got to be blowing for the west to get a good signal.
So if you go way back in our episode number 4,
Four, was it?
I think it was 4.
I think it might have been
The
four.
fact
I think it was 4
is
in our
amazing,
first season. You get to meet Shane.
Yeah.
Shane gets to interview Keith and I.
Yep.
In that one.
I'm sure I didn't see that one.
Did you?
I think I did.
That was a good one.
So back in our prior life, when we had our band Rattlecat Junction, Shane was a bass player.
Mhm.
And-
Oh, okay.
You should remember Shane.
I remember Shane now.
Whiskey Rose days.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So hopefully,
Well, I don't remember much from Whiskey Rose. I barely remember you guys from Whiskey Rose.
hey, that's all that matters.
My wife's like, remember Whiskey Rose?
Yeah, kind of. He's-
Yeah.
So his memories of us are what his wife tells him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So you really do live vicariously through your wife, then? Huh?
Do I?
I guess
I don't remember.
she's.
She's the best memory I have.
Oh, that's funny.
No, it was amazing to meet you guys again. And she told me all about you. And it's like a spark came back. And it was like remembering something you did when you were 3 years old. And I'm like, I would have never remembered again had she not sparked that memory.
Right.
But yeah, that was amazing.
We're glad she did.
Yeah.
Sorry I had to get it like that, but
Well, we're just happy that you're able to be with
still
us.
get it.
Yeah, because things could have turned out a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still waiting.
Well, you want to do one of your stories,
Yeah,
Joey?
let's hear one of yours.
Well, sure. You know, I've got some stories from World War II, and this one kind of caught my attention, and it's a story about the SS Alkimos. So it was a battleship, and it wasn't a U.S. battleship, so
It wasn't.
it was not.
Okay.
But I'm just going to read it because it. I don't want to miss anything.
Do we have a
And-
picture of it up here? Did you send me a picture of it?
Yeah, well, the Rex. Yeah,
That one?
it'll make sense. I should have had a picture of it before in its glory. Well, I don't know if it really had a glory day. Once you hear the story, you might
They all had
understand.
glory days.
But yeah, I'm like I'm an excellent excellent reader. So enjoy this. Actually,
I'll put
before
the picture up.
that's at low tide.
Is this like relevant to a part of the story where I should be bringing it up in the story, or can we bring it up?
Yeah, towards the end. But
Okay, we'll bring it up later.
I just really love this story. So the SSS Alkimos has been known as a cursed ship from its very beginning.
Would you like another beer?
Please. The ship got its start during World War II when ships were being pushed through the production line at a staggering pace, being built in just 10 days.
Oh, wow. What?
Wow.
10 days on the
impossible.
production line meant that corners were cut and the ship was ramshackled from the start. There were even rumors that the ship was completed so quickly that welders were actually sealed into the hull where they slowly died.
Oh, no.
So dead welders were only some of the rumors of the accidents and deaths that plagued the short construction of the SS Alkimos.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
Should I bring Shane back on to listen to this too?
He might enjoy it.
That's incredible. 10 days?
10 days they built the ship. And so once it was put out to sea, its cursed reputation only continued. It was originally under the name of George M. Shriver before being changed to the Viggo Honstein.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it's a lot better. From the moment it was put into service on October 11th, 1943, it was plagued with technical difficulties.
Can imagine.
You would think. So, yes, the ship would break down. And in August of 1944, the ship's deadly history got another chapter when a brutal murder-suicide took place. The ship was at a port in Naples when a crew member shot and killed a female Canadian radio operator before turning the gun on himself. So after the war, the ship changed hands and finally ended up rechristened as the Greek ship, the SS Alkimos. The bad luck and technical difficulties continued to follow the ship, as well as stories of hauntings. In 1963, the ship ran aground off the coast of Western Australia. The propeller was damaged, so efforts were made to tow the ship to Fremantle for emergency repairs before being taken to Hong Kong for larger repairs. While in Fremantle, the ship inexplicably caught fire. When it was finally ready to tow to Hong Kong, you're going to love this story though. The tow cable snapped and the ship ran aground once again, just this time off of North Fremantle. And it gets better. Okay, in an effort to keep the ship going, caretakers were left on the ship until proper efforts could be made to salvage it. And so caretakers reported feelings of being watched, smells of cooking coming from the galley, and a great feeling of unease while on board. Efforts to salvage the ship failed as one company after another tried. In one attempt, and you're going to love this, in one attempt, the ship that was trying to tow the USS Alkimos, it caught fire.
Don't touch.
Causing the SS Alkimos to run aground again. This time it was left there. And so those are those pictures.
It's like the third time.
Third time it ran aground, and it looks less. Yeah, never know.
I don't think it can.
It looks pretty good. So plans were made to demolish the ship, but the man in charge died in a plane crash. Anyone attempted to salvage and to destroy the ship met with misfortune.
Wow.
So at this time, all efforts have been abandoned, and the ship remains there to this day.
And where is it right now?
In Australia.
Wow.
Is that the same ship? Because that looks.
I think that's a low tide. I don't know. It's had some more years of
running aground
of some pretty heavy sea battling.
It's amazing. I mean, usually when they run aground once, they're done.
Because that picture looks a lot better.
It does look a lot better than
that picture.
So maybe that was the first time it ran aground.
Or second.
Possibly, right?
Who knows, before they tried to tow it back out. So all I know is all these pictures were labeled that this was the SS Alkimos, a very haunted ship. And
totally amazing.
And if I ever get to Australia, I really want to go.
I bet the bodies are still in it. well, they sealed it up.
Well, yeah, they sealed it up.
I'm sure they're still there.
There's skeletons in the hole.
That's a great road trip.
I
investigation.
I would say.
Good Lord.
That's amazing.
That's a cool story.
You know, it's not very common that a ship runs aground and survives, but let alone 3 times.
and survives. Well, it
didn't
really survived.
It burned twice.
Well, the ship that tried to tow it burned, and then it burned once itself. So,
Shane, weren't you on a ship like that?
Ship of fool. No, sorry.
Are you with us, Shane?
Are you frozen again? Can you hear us, Shane?
No, I see the fan moving.
Oh yeah, that's trick photography. It just stopped.
It just froze now. Shane, you got a bad connection.
Can you hear us?
I think that's the one I was on.
Do you have a uranium detector?
Yeah, I'm moving. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let him get caught up.
All right. 10 seconds.
So you faded out before we wanted to thank you for your service, by the way.
Yes,
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
That's not funny.
And thank you.
I think he just.
You guys hear?
A long time ago.
You're, you're breaking up big time.
We're way behind, dude.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Let me
Night,
try
Dad.
something else.
All right, we'll pull you off for now. Oh boy.
No, that's amazing. So how do you did you just research that and find it, or is that something that came to
Google, man.
really? You
Google.
just Googled old.
I just Googled, this came from 8 World War II ghost stories.
Wow.
And
And
that
there's
just
so
happens-
many. I'm sure there's
there's just a ton.
Yeah, there's a ton of stories.
That one just kind of, I don't know, as I read it,
Stuck
it stuck out and kind of made me giggle a little bit. I don't know. It's sad because,
That's a lot of misfortune on a ship.
yeah,
man,
a lot of
let me tell ya.
misfortune.
yeah,
but-
but to run aground 3 times, that's just not unheard of. Or twice.
yeah. And then if you try to
Salvage
demolish it or salvage it, then you kind
burned
of,
Yeah.
things don't end well for you.
Like
That's a great
King
story.
Tut's tomb almost, you know. It's
Yeah.
cursed. Man.
That's
Well,
awesome, man.
Alicia, if you're on, you can go ahead and join us because that would
Yeah.
kind of segue into your story
Yeah.
a little bit. So wait for her to jump on.
Yeah. I'm anxious to hear that story.
Yeah, me
Tell
too.
her that went. for
She
her.
she was going to be on with us when we did the Parapalooza, but she didn't have any signal where she was at, so she wasn't able to jump on.
See,
But-
Caroline Bennett said her was a bad captain.
That'll do it.
Oh, I'm your captain.
Good song.
Well, good night, Naked. Thanks for
Naked.
joining us. I know it's,
It's late.
It's
I
late
know,
for
we
him.
understand.
That's late.
life on the farm is
Starts
not
early.
really
In
kind
the
of laid back.
woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Life in the woods.
he's got a lot of work to do early in the morning.
That's one of our road trips, by the way.
Yeah,
It
I know.
sure is.
I know. They'll be coming up next year, probably. 2021, when all this craziness is behind us.
And he really needs an intervention on reface.
Mm.
On,
Yeah,
on clothing.
No,
On Reface.
Reface. He's done some pretty disturbing things on there. I do have to say,
But they put a big smile on my face every time I see him. Though. So thank you, Naked.
Thank
Big
you, Naked.
Wendy says we're lagging. We're always lagging.
What's
That's
new?
the beer.
Story of our lives.
That's the
We're
beer
always
time,
lagging.
yeah. Oh, Alicia, where are you? And while we're waiting for Alicia, maybe Keith can tell us a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like this story. This was kind of cool. And
I have heard this story.
have you?
Yeah, I have.
Which one though? 'Cause
Oh, I
there's
don't know.
There's like
Is
three
it the one
different-
that I know, or is it
probably. Did it have to do with Halloween?
Oh no! This
Oh,
is,
okay.
I don't. That,
Okay.
maybe.
So I'm going to give you the short and dirty of it. But let's talk about the site first of all.
Let's do a close up.
Is really?
Yeah.
Make sure the camera.
So I
Hey,
can
there it
drink
is.
my beer.
Camera works, but I got to read, so it's going to look terrible. But so the place we're talking about is Jefferson Barracks. Okay, it was officially established on October 23rd in 1826. The fort was named in honor for former President Thomas Jefferson, who had died earlier that same year. So the initial intention of it was to house soldiers protecting the settlers from Indian attacks. So that was interesting.
1826.
In 1832, a steamer of troops was sent north to participate in the Black Hawk War. A young lieutenant named Jefferson Davis, who would later go on to serve as president of the Confederacy during the Civil War, was assigned to escort the captured Indian leader back to Jefferson Barracks. What, didn't they just make a movie about that with Christian Bale?
I could Google that.
I
You
think
guys are so smart.
no, I think there was. I think there
No,
was.
it's about Jefferson Barracks.
I thought it was. I could be wrong, but that's what the story
You
was.
could be right.
I may be right, maybe crazy.
Jefferson Davis.
You just may be that lunatic.
I probably am at this point. So
Turn out the lights.
it turned into a veterans hospital after it closed down as a base. I'm trying to see where it was. So it was in 1922, January of 1922.
Good year.
It became a veterans hospital. Then the first story goes after it had shut down was they were doing a private Halloween party. And several of the guests at the party would claim to see men dressed up in Civil War uniform, right? And when they would report it, they'd go to the guards at the gates and they would say, nobody was here that night dressed up like that.
Well, righteous uniforms, dude.
And they've had conversations with the
Costumes.
spirits about it too. The spirits would actually interact with them and talk back.
Wow.
So it's kind of interesting. So when they went and told their story, everybody's like, nobody was here that was wearing that type of a uniform.
Wow.
So there was 2 accounts with the Halloween story. But the one you're probably more familiar with is the one for the
Munitions.
the musicians,
Yes.
building. So
You say musicians or
munitions?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it was
there's
the army band.
There's no
So-
music on that one.
So it says this is the most famous of all the ghost encounters. There was a guard who was shot in the head during a munitions raid. The guard is known for being very aggressive, if not downright hostile, with soldiers who are spending time guarding the barracks. They even had one account to where one of the soldiers actually retired from the army because he was so frightened. So, because they
Wow.
would see it, they would describe seeing the spirit, and you can see the bullet hole and you can see the blood running from the bullet
That's
hole.
nuts.
They said you can
Wow.
physically see that. It wasn't like just a white apparition.
Is that over and over or on more?
They
than one?
several
More
occasions
than
they've seen
one
it. Yeah,
occasion?
the one occasion the one gentleman was so spooked he just quit
I'm done.
altogether.
I'm
It's
done.
like I'm
Yeah.
done.
And it's still in operation today, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's still
Road trip.
an active military base. So,
No, it's not an active
No.
military base anymore. No,
oh, it's not.
No,
Hospital?
after not according.
So
to
we can do
this.
road trip.
We could do a road trip. I don't remember where it said it did shut down.
So is
but
it abandoned?
because it became a veterans hospital,
Oh,
and then it had shut down, and that's why they had the private Halloween party.
So is
there.
it abandoned?
well, and there's a military graveyard by it
Yes.
as well, right?
Yep.
Because
That's
there's
awesome.
yeah.
I want to do that so bad.
I'm almost positive it said that it shut down. I'm trying to find that in here, see if I can see that where it said it.
I don't know what that pop is.
It's
What the
Shane
little pop
coming on.
is?
Oh, he's in the dark now.
So the munitions building was used in 1871. I'm just trying to see. I remember.
Oh,
I can barely read this. So
That's why I got big print.
I know. Maybe it is still active because they're talking about in 1980 was the next account. And
Of a hospital?
Chief Master Sergeant Eugene Anaker and several of the Air National Guard NCOs were working late in the building. See if they saw the same thing. Oh, they had issues with lights going on and off in the building by themselves. So maybe it is still active. I thought I read somewhere that it wasn't active anymore, but I could be mistaken.
We'll find out.
But it'd be cool to go visit.
Sure would.
Yeah, it just talks about they've had several encounters seeing people in Civil War uniform. And then the guy who was guarding the munitions building, they talk about that. Wow.
So,
Are you with us?
That's a good look
That's
there.
a different look for you, Shane.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's a good face already.
It's a paper bag.
Are you in your car?
Yeah, I had to drive down the road a couple miles.
He's driving toward a better signal. Keep going. You're there, man. You're there.
Further away
Yeah,
from the
I
power
made
plant or closer too?
farther away.
Okay.
That is dedication, my
Makes
friend.
sense. Okay, do you have a lighter
No, I
Why?
don't have a lighter.
to light up your face? or-
Oh, he looks good like that. He's very
Yeah,
mysterious.
that's
That's
kind
a
of
great
cool.
face, man.
Wow.
That's funny.
Um,
So
yeah, I
again,
don't know.
if we're communicating, thank you for your service. Did you hear
Yes.
us earlier?
No, I didn't.
All right. We want
We
to say
did
thank you for your
and-
service.
Thank you.
And what were the years of your service there?
And where
Shane?
were you?
Yeah. Let's hear a little bit about
96.
what you can tell us.
I was in Marine Corps from 96 to 2000 and the Air Force Reserve from 2004 to 2010. I was at Camp Pendleton in the Marines and most of the time at Whiteman Air Force Base and then a little bit here at Luke with the Air Force Reserve.
Oh, you know stuff.
I don't know much of anything, but
You were at Whiteman?
Yeah, I was at Whiteman.
Yeah, you
And
know
yeah,
stuff.
I did see. I saw the stealths and stuff, but that's not what I worked on. So worked on the A10 Warthogs.
Love it. One of my favorite.
You know, Shane, he looks like he's in an interrogation room right
He
now.
does,
doesn't he?
Yeah, so we need to ask you a few questions, sir. If you could look toward the
Okay, go
light.
ahead, ask away.
So, did you have any paranormal activity in the Marines or the Air Force?
You will answer the question.
Not I know of.
Not that you can talk about.
Yeah, not that I could talk about. Nah, not that I know of.
Have you heard stories?
Not really. I've not in the service. I mean, I've heard some stuff about, like, when I lived on Kauai, there's hear stories about lights under the water and stuff. They think it's military vessels of some kind, but they don't know what it is. Something that goes under the, it'll be up, like it drives down into the water or something. But I don't know what it is.
USOs, underwater submersible vehicles,
or unidentified
submersible.
vehicles.
Submersible.
Submersible?
So merciful.
Yeah, that happened a lot back then. Oh, that's cool.
And Shane, you were a sniper, right? Were you a sniper or were you?
No, I was a machine gunner.
Oh, okay. Who said sniper? You said sniper, didn't you?
Shut me up.
Yeah, about the same life expectancy.
So what's
combat.
the difference between a shooter? Do you know what the difference? Were you a shooter?
A shooter.
It's
I shot machine guns, but
all right. Then you were a shooter.
That would make you a shooter.
Shotguns. Yeah, you're a shooter. No, that's
yeah.
I used to carry people over to Afghanistan and Kuwait, and they were mercenary shooters. So they had like one goal. It was just to shoot at a target. So a machine gunner, I guess you were like spraying, whereas these guys were targeting, right?
Yeah, I was in a combined arms anti-tank platoon. So our goal was to use the machine guns to get the tanks to shut down, close everything down on them, and then they'd shoot them with the tow.
Awesome. And you did that out of an aircraft?
No, on Humvees.
Humvee, cool. I just bought a Humvee.
He needs you to set him up with a gun.
I got an H2 Hummer. I'm going to need one of those turrets and everything on the top. If you don't mind, hook me up, would you?
Wendy said she wants to be a sniper so she could jump on the Humvee with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a flat back H2 Hummer that I kind of want a turret on. So
you're funny.
I really do.
I can hook you up with that.
He can make you one.
So did you ride around just doing reconnaissance or protection? Or am I asking too much?
No, I'm not asking too much. No, we were basically our job was to get rid of tanks. So
You're tank killers like a warthog.
yeah, only on the ground and
We're
hoping
using
that
the 50?
yeah, 50 cal Mark 19, 240 Golf.
Awesome.
You ever shot a 50?
Yes, one time out at Usury Pass.
That's usually my golf game.
No, we had a guy bring a 50 out.
That's on a par
You'd
nine.
be playing a lot more golf if you're shooting 50.
That's on the front nine.
You need to practice more.
I watched. We were out shooting one time and watched a guy shoot a 50, and you could just watch like almost a shockwave go across the ground.
Yeah.
It was crazy. They're nuts.
You could see the disturbance in the air. The you know what I'm saying? The distortion of the waves in the air. No, it would actually, like, you know how you see like the pavement, you see the pavement, bubbling or whatever.
Buckle.
When you shot this thing, you could see the disturbance of the air. It would actually mess with your vision. It was crazy.
Had nothing to do with the kickback, did it?
A lot to do with that. Probably. No, but he let me shoot it. I got to pull the trigger a couple of times. I think I did in 2 trigger pulls, I did like 30 rounds, and it was just I didn't want to touch it anymore. I'm like, I'm done.
30 rounds in under 10 seconds, right?
Under
Or
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Yeah.
Jesus. That's
It's
crazy.
done.
So Shane, what's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer, Breckenridge Vanilla Porter.
Ooh,
I have to try that.
breaking out the Breckenridge.
All right. Is that from Colorado?
Have you guys had that one?
We haven't had the vanilla. Which one do we do?
We did a Breckenridge, but
Yeah.
what was it?
Wasn't it a strawberry something or?
I
Was
do
it
not
Breckenridge?
remember.
I don't remember
You'll have the
either.
can downstairs. I'll have to go check it out.
Most likely, I got the can downstairs. So yeah, Breckenridge is good.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, good beer. If you're going to get into the berry drinks, have you guys had any of the Abita beers?
Abita?
Abita, yeah, they're out of Louisiana. They
Hmm.
make one called, well, they want my light, but they make one called Purple Haze. It's got a raspberry base to it.
You got a pair of jumper cables?
No, I'm good.
Real quick.
There
You
you
know,
go.
a cargo light brings out the romantic glow.
I'm back.
Never say that to a man with goats.
Put your foot out in the door. Open that thing up a little bit.
Yeah. It'll go off anyway, so.
Yeah. He has goats. I wasn't kidding.
No, I totally believe you.
I think we have 7 right now
Holy cow.
Holy goat.
in our menagerie, so.
So where are you again? Where do you live?
Arlington?
Texas?
No. Out by
Okay.
Tonopah.
Oh, yeah, by the nuclear plant. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't know there was an Arlington out there, though.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
It's east of the plant.
No, it's west of the plant. It's between Buckeye and Tonopah.
Oh, so which way's the wind blowing right now?
I can't tell because my window's up, but
It does matter. It
there's
matters.
always
a lot.
smells out here, though.
Tell them it matters. Tell them it matters.
What, the smell?
No, the wind.
No, the wind? Yeah, the wind does matter, but I'd like some rain, but we haven't had any of that for a while.
That'd be nice. You should talk about that other story since Shane's on it. I mean, he may be able to relate to.
The ghost plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The ghost plane's a fun one.
Have you heard that one, Shane?
No?
It's about a B-17 that landed itself.
I need another beer though. We have any more beer?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So here I'm going to try to read this in a very.
There was a movie about this, right?
I don't think there was a. It would have been a kind of a short movie.
No.
It may have been. I don't know.
No, there was a movie about where a wheel formed and landed. The B-17.
It didn't
I'm pretty sure.
form.
That was a Hitchcock movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Here, I'll read the story and then you can tell me if it was made into a movie.
I couldn't recall.
But it was a chilly November day in 1944. Sexy.
Just saying.
When an aircraft crew stationed in Belgium saw a large plane coming towards them. The RAF unit, that's the Royal Air Force unit from England,
The Royals.
recognized the plane as an American B-17, the so-called Flying Fortress. The sighting was strange because the landing gear was down and the plane was coming in fast. There were no landings scheduled, and so the men on the ground assumed that the plane was making an emergency landing. I think I would assume that too.
Yeah, that's a good assumption.
So they were correct, but the reason for the emergency landing was something they never expected. The plane landed and looked largely intact. The landing was rough and bouncy. It was clear to the men on the ground that something was wrong with the whole situation, as the plane nearly clipped a wing before coming to a stop in the open field. For 20 minutes, no one approached the plane, waiting for the crew to come out and explain what had happened. Finally, those on the ground got restless, decided to approach the plane, even as the engines continued their loud growl. So, of course, it landed and everything kept running. So, crazy. When the hatch opened, the silence within the plane was more deafening than the roar of the engines.
Wow.
That sounds spooky, huh? So there was no crew. Not a single person was found on the plane, but there was evidence that the crew had been on the plane recently. There were half-eaten candy bars and a navigator's code book with the colors of the day, which suggested that a crew had been on board that day. Even more mysterious were the neatly packed parachutes, enough for an entire crew, completely untouched.
Wow.
What had happened? It looked at first that the crew had completely vanished and the plane had just landed itself. While at first it seemed like a bizarre ghost story and spread throughout the military as such, the truth is much simpler. The plane malfunctioned and it took a hit, which made the plane unable to fly. So the crew tossed what they could to lighten the load, and then they bailed out of the plane when it was kind of safe to do
Without
so.
parachutes?
Well, they were close to the ground, and they were throwing things out, and then they jumped out when they saw it was safe. And so as the B-17 dipped down towards Brussels, the problem with the engine seemed to resolve themselves.
And came in and landed.
And the B-17 flew itself. But I mean, they can say that there's an answer to it, but for a plane to actually make it to an actual landing field on its own seems a little weird to me.
Was it near the runway?
Yeah. I mean, it came into the, it was,
So it was on
landing.
autopilot.
In 1944.
They didn't have autopilot.
I don't know what autopilot looked like in
No, they didn't have autopilot.
Was it 1944 as already said? Yeah, 1944.
It's amazing.
And so without where to get, but it performed the landing all by itself without a crew.
Was there damage to the aircraft?
A little bit.
It said it had been hit.
Yeah, it had been hit,
yeah.
but after the crew bailed on it and all that, then the engines kind of corrected themselves and it kept on flying. And then it landed at this airfield.
I don't doubt it. Where's our
Yeah.
We didn't load it on the new machine yet.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right.
Huh?
But we do have the no, not this one.
Yes.
That's the one.
Very appropriate.
That's
There
our
you go.
That's amazing. That's totally amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
What a
that's
cool story.
So was that the movie you saw?
No,
I think the one you're talking about was a Hitchcock movie.
was it Hitchcock
I'm almost
where
positive.
they were landing, they had no nose gear, and all of a sudden it came in as a cartoon and was drawn in?
I think.
I haven't seen that one.
God, I know what you're talking about because I've seen it. I just don't remember if it's.
And they don't know how it landed.
Hey Kelly, how you doing tonight?
Hi, Kelly. No,
Yeah,
we have
that's
to go. We have to go see the airplanes, guys. Let's go see the airplanes.
That we need to, the ones that you went to.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. We need to.
They're
Do it.
World War II. They're
What do you think, Shane? You think they had autopilot back then to land a plane in the 1940s?
no, not like that.
no. It was a
That's
shoestring, a piece of wood.
Don't talk about wood when you've got things going on. Oh, never mind.
I'm talking about what is on.
That just doesn't look right.
No.
on camera.
I
He's
think
talking about. Never mind. I'm going to leave that one alone.
yeah, you went way off,
Well, I'm looking at the image,
and I'm talking
and he's
about
talking about wood, and
Well,
he's
no, you
doing
know
this
there's a wooden
thing.
stake. Or how they how you put it on the accelerator pedal and you jump out and it still goes. and they have like string that you can attach to the yolk. You know what a yolk is?
Yeah, I know what a yolk is.
So they planned it to try to. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Where are you, Alicia? Save us.
That's amazing.
I bet Kelly
that's-
has lots of history she could share with
Wood
us.
jokes.
She's a history teacher. I bet she knows lots of this stuff.
No, that is amazing. There wasn't an avocado until like 60s or 70s.
After Roswell, that was 47, right?
Well, way after that.
Well, that's when things started to really happen, was after 47.
Well, I think they happened, but they weren't talked about. They weren't publicized.
Yeah. Oh, I
Till
got a
that
bubble.
guy
I'm
saw
sorry.
Till that guy saw the flying disc and called them flying saucers. After that, they started talking about it. But before that, there were many encounters that people didn't talk about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Encounters,
amazing.
but
That's
it
an
was
amazing story.
the recovered craft is when amazing things started to happen.
That's why we have what we have.
We have beer.
Nanotechnology.
I just
What are you
sent Kara
drinking?
if she wants to jump on. We're drinking Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah,
Juicy hazy.
Juicy
Oh,
Haze.
yeah, and light one out.
Juicy Haze IPA.
Shane loves this
It's
lady.
1.8. We've had a lot.
That's funny. That was a good story. I like
That's
that
a
story.
great
Well, I'm
story.
glad you
man.
enjoyed
That was a good story.
Probably a million.
Yeah, I mean, as far as aircraft, I mean, there are ghost planes, especially in England. There's this whole story before that one. It's talking about clear up. I think the newest encounter that they had in here was 2017, and it was witnessing it's a Dakota, a Douglas Dakota, and there's absolutely none of them in operation at this time.
Wow.
That was in 2017 that they saw one flying, a ghost plane.
All right. I have a little story.
Okay.
So back in 1998, 99. I was all of my buddies that were pilots were membered of the CAF, Confederate Air Force, and they were stationed out at Falcon Field. And what they would do is they would fly the B-17s, the B-19s, the Enola Gay, the Sentimental Journey. They would fly that to air shows, and they kept those airplanes positioned in Midland, Texas, and Wichita. I don't know why. It was just
Midland, I can understand, but Wichita?
Midland,
right?
well, Wichita was very famous for air shows,
Okay.
but in Midland, Texas, they stored them there because it's very dry. It didn't do damage to the aircraft, so they stored them there. So as they had air shows, they would fly them from Midland to all of these places for the air shows. So Captain Larry Dixon, God bless his soul, is
Such a name dropper.
he was the only one that flew the remaining German Heinkel, and he actually died in the last flying German Heinkel.
Did you say Heinkel?
Heinkel.
That's where Heineken came from.
We lost Shane.
It was behind him.
Thanks
Heineken.
for joining us, Shane.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
So they asked me if I'd like to go do a repositioning for an air show, and I said sure. So we flew into Lubbock, took a car up to Midland, Texas, and we got on a B-17 and a B-19. We checked them all out, and these are like flight ready, bomb ready. They have all the bombs and everything like they used to have. They're fake bombs, but they look just like they did when they flew. And we flew the B-17 to Wichita, and then we flew it into Kansas City for the air shows.
Uh-huh.
I got to fly on this airplane to do the positioning. And when we were flying on this airplane, I was in a jump seat up in the front. And I swore there were men in the back screaming and yelling when we landed. And I thought nothing of it. I just, when back then I was green, but there were so many things that happened on that flight that I look back now and go, wait a minute. What was that? But flying these B-17, the actual B-17.
So you think there's some spirits flying with you?
Oh God, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. There's many men that were on those 17s and 19s that
Whatever it took.
20, 24, 32.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
But in looking back at it now, I should have been more aware, but I wasn't. But I swear I heard men cheering when we landed in Wichita on that B-17. And I just shut up. I kept it to myself. I never talked about it. But
I would love to be able to fly on something like that
someday, I can get you on one.
Yeah. I mean, I bet it's louder than.
Oh, I can imagine.
My buddies are CAF. If you want to go to Falcon Field and do a ride along, we can get on the Sentimental Trinity or a 19 or a 17 or maybe even the Enola Gay. And you can pay, I
thought the Enola Gay was still in New Mexico.
No. Well, they fly it all around the country.
Oh, do they?
It's on show.
That'd be fun.
But it's stationed here at Falcon Field. And all of my Confederate Air Force friend pilots, they'll tell you exactly where it is right now. But if you want to go out there and do a ride along, I think it's like $150, and they will fly you up out of Falcon Field. They'll go over and do some touch and goes over at Gateway, and then they'll fly back to Falcon Field. But I think it's $150 and you can ride on a bomb ready B-17, B-19, or Enola Gay. It's like $150.
And can you be bombed?
Can you be bombed?
You can be bombed while you're doing it. I never.
So Aragon Story
respected
says
it too much.
I remember the show too. He was saying it was the story from Stephen King's. Actually, it's amazing stories.
Steven Spielberg.
Sorry, Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
I got Stephen King on the brain. I don't know why. Since
Because he writes some
stories.
awesome stuff.
That's what it was.
It was amazing stories.
Based on a true story.
I think a lot of them were, weren't they?
But this one where the nose gear came in and he landed and they don't know how.
And so they drew it in.
Yeah.
That
I'm
made
sorry.
it work.
I can't recall.
That's just
Somebody out there
cool.
knows what I'm talking about.
So
it was
cool.
based on a true story, and the nose gear was completely either damaged or did not come down, and they landed as if there was nose gear, and the airplane landed safely.
They needed a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon to do that nose job.
And it was like an animation came in and drew in a nose gear and landed the aircraft. Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about.
No, I think I remember the story because when you said it was like a cartoon wheel appeared. I remember seeing the story. It's based on
a true story.
I just, for some reason, I thought it was Hitchcock. I don't know why, but that's what my brain went to.
Hitchcock.
He's fiction, isn't he?
Good stuff.
He's what?
Fiction.
Yeah, he was fiction. Yeah. But
I think it was now that you say amazing stories.
I think
it was amazing stories.
Yeah. It started out that I remember the theme song. It had like they were sitting around the campfire talking about different stories and shit. But yeah, it was a good show. I think it was back in the 80s, wasn't it? Like late 80s.
Yeah.
Spielberg's heyday.
Yeah. Yep.
Heydays.
The only reason I remember
a lot of money. He could have retired after the 80s.
I appreciated it because it was based on a true story. I thought it was like just another show or a movie because I don't watch a lot of movies, but because it was based on true events is what captured me.
Kelly, check again because I just sent it to you. I just resent it to you. For some reason, it had an X the first time I sent it.
Yeah, I really like Hitchcock too. Hitchcock.
You like what?
I like Hitchcock.
I missed the hitch there.
Wasn't The Birds? Wasn't that a Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And also North by Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yep. Yeah, he was good. He was a good writer. He was kind of crazy, kind of like Stephen King. He was some.
He had a great profile.
Yeah. No, he was good. He had some cool stuff. Kind of a twisted mind.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if like Nostradamus and Einstein were able to like make movies back in the day?
Right? Can you imagine?
They would put down their imagination on paper and make films out of what they thought.
Well, people make movies about their things now.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So,
kind of what they base it off of. Yeah. Yep.
Not cock, Hitchcock. Thank you, Wendy.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Not rock.
And so Caroline, we know Caroline, of course. It's Wendy's sister.
Yes.
It's
And,
all right. All right. So Caroline, you said the story Joe told about MUFON did an investigation. I want to know right now, out of all you guys listening to us, is anybody familiar with MUFON, or is anybody active in MUFON?
I'm familiar with it. Does that count?
Okay. You're familiar with it, but
Yeah.
is there anybody active that have been to a MUFON meeting? I've been to many MUFON meetings. So I'm just kind of like teasing to see what you guys think. Have you been to MUFON meetings, or do you know about MUFON? If you do, just kind of like leave it in the comments.
Give
I'd
a
be
thumbs
interested
up.
to talk about you later. MUFON's incredible. We should go.
I would love to go.
It's the first
sometime.
Tuesday of every month, and it's over at the National Guard.
But
over by
it's on
Papago.
Tuesday. It just kind of screws things up.
No, yeah.
We can do a live story from there.
I can ask them to change it.
MUFON. Yeah,
No,
please
but if
change
you
it.
ever been to a MUFON meeting, or if you know about MUFON, I'd be all right. Here we go. Caroline says yes. MUFON is incredible, and if you don't know about MUFON, I encourage you, as a paranormal or kind of a UFO skeptic or believer or investigator, check out MUFON. There's a local chapter in every single state. So we have Arizona MUFO, hold on.
Mutual
UFO Network, isn't it?
Mutual UFO Network.
Right.
And so they have it in every state. But if you're interested in UFOs and the paranormal, I suggest that you contact your local chapter, and you can go down there and sit in these meetings every month. And it is amazing. They're usually on like the National Guard. Like we have it over at Papago, and it's a National Guard over there. You can go in, they allow you in, you go in there and you sit down, and it's just a bunch of UFO freaks. And they sit there and talk about paranormal and UFO for like 2 hours. I'd encourage anybody that wants to do that, go check that out. It's amazing.
You have to be probed when you first walk in.
Yeah, you're probed at the gate, and then
you get
you're either sent away or you're sent in. They allow you in or they allow you out. It's like a metal detector. It's a probe detector. But so I went to many of these things, and after the end of the show, one time when I was talking about my sighting, these people came up to me and they like wanting to touch me and everything. So it's a weird thing. All right, I'm warning you right now. They're weird people. They're crazy people. I think half of them are aliens. They're hybrids because they're freaky people. But if you ever get the angst to go check one of these MUFON shows out, I encourage you to.
Don't
do
they
that.
have them in Laughlin, or is that just the?
They're in every
convention?
state. They're in every state.
I thought so.
It's a party in Laughlin.
It is a party in Laughlin.
Yeah.
Do we have parties here? Do they have them here?
They're just the meetings.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I only went to like 4 before I got freaked out and never wanted to go again.
Because everybody wanted to touch you.
Oh, they were crazy, man. I was on a couple of radio shows from a guy, Erskine Radio.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted to like touch me. People wanted my autograph. People wanted to like just be near me and meditate next to me. There's some weird folks out there, but they attend these MUFON meetings. But I mean, I'm telling you, if you want to experience some really crazy
sorry,
shit,
drink.
I almost spit my drink out when you said that. That's the way you said.
If you want to push it to a different level, go check out a MUFON meeting. You won't be disappointed. It's crazy. I'd like to go back. Let's go. Let's all go.
We'll have to figure that out. So we could do a live stream before we go into the meeting, and then. What time does the meeting start? Do you know?
You have to Google
We'll
it.
have to Google it. We'll look it up and see. Yeah.
Caroline wants to touch you.
Thank you, Caroline. I've had that request before.
Tim gives off his aura.
No, I'm serious.
No, I know you are.
The craziest thing in my whole experience of paranormal happened with Caroline and
Oh,
her
no.
ghost tube.
I know that was
That was
nuts.
the most outrageous thing that I've ever experienced in my life, because the ghost tube's English voice is the same chick on every freaking
Everybody's
phone.
phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got something totally
And we
different.
got an old hag sound out of her phone that was like, "Leave me alone," and
That just doesn't happen.
it doesn't
No,
happen.
it doesn't
and,
happen.
and that was so crazy that
You know,
I
should be probed.
I'll turn
to-
the ghost tube on right now and see if it.
we should get more involved with MUFON. I think we could get a lot more subscribers. they're a little different.
There's two different groups that we really like to hang with, and so we haven't really done a lot with our UFO.
The
side.
MUFON family
We really
is-
haven't.
so- No, and we have an episode in the
In the archives.
in the archives that we've got to release sometime. And
Yes.
but here it is. It's 3 hours of an interview of a hybrid.
You remember that lady that
And,
you met that we
Yes,
set up
and-
that whole
and
interview
Gold
with
in
Gold Canyon?
Gold Canyon, yeah.
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 And
It was
talk
interesting.
about having your mind blown.
Okay. All right. She called me like 6 days in a row telling me about this. And now I need to come out and talk to her. So you actually went out and interviewed her?
We did, because you
Yep.
got sick.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
sick
I
during
was
that time.
bad. There was a reason.
And she
Yeah.
actually requested Lindsay.
Yeah.
When we did it. So
That's right.
this thing is not saying a damn thing. I turned it on, not saying
No,
shit. I wanted to show the voice,
The
but
voice.
yeah. But now it's not saying
Can you change the voice?
No, that's the
Oh, we
point. That's
just
the
wanna show
point.
you
That's
what
what I'm
the
Well,
trying
you
to
can
say.
change the
You
language.
can change the language, right? But not
But
the
not
tone
wanna
of the
change
voice.
Yeah.
That was demonic. That
And the
voice
fact that
came through.
and the fact that you guys heard nothing right now is amazing, because when we go out as a team, oh, woo,
It
We
gets
get-
pretty
we-
active. Well,
we
it
get very
depends. There are
active.
sometimes when it's just likes to be quiet.
Yeah.
But once
for
it
like
starts
15
talking,
minutes, and then once it starts,
So Lindsay and I went to Acadia.
yeah.
We didn't get shit. Like turn the ghost tube on, and nothing was happening. It was weird. It was just a weird night.
the
Very
same
strange.
place
Mhm.
that was so active with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's just weird. It's just weird.
And it was
Amazing.
kind of a windy, stormy night. Too,
It was,
wasn't
yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird the way
I'll
it
never
happens.
forget the picture that we took up in Acadia where the lightning was in the
That was
background.
awesome. That was cool.
so cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was very cool.
that was good.
Yeah, so no, I'm interested in the MUFON thing. I
No,
really
we,
am.
we,
I
we
mean,
need
it
to.
would
I think
be-
we should explore MUFON. And if like I said, if anybody knows about MUFON or has any stories or experiences, we'd love to hear those stories. And again, I encourage you to visit your local MUFON chapter, because it is pretty incredible. I'm just saying.
I didn't know there was one in every state. That's interesting.
There's one
that
in
there
every
is.
state. There's Arizona, there's Nevada, there's Texas, there's New Mexico. Every state has a MUFON chapter.
Now, is there any type of like initiation to get into the
no,
group,
you
or
just-
do you
just-
have to-
Just probed.
just
You just get probed.
well, we
at
did
the
that. We
gate.
got pictures to prove it. So.
Get probed at the gate.
Yeah, we've got our
But no,
probe cards.
It's very intimidating. I mean, it's very intimidating. You drive up to the National Guard, and there's a big guard gate, and they're like, "What are you here for?" And you're like, "The MUFON meeting." And they're like, "All right, yes, sir. Go down there, take a right, go over there." You don't get into a National Guard base for any reason
Right.
other than you're part of the National Guard or you're going to a MUFON meeting. And it's
Interesting.
just crazy. But I think we all should visit one time,
We should.
or man on location,
Wait.
or do an investigation about it. I mean,
Which reminds me of
but
something.
you get in this big theater and there's all these people, and they have it's about an hour and a half long, and they sit down and they talk about this month's
activity.
activity. And it's tough. You don't hear on CNN. They talk about things that are just
Okay.
The Tic Tac thing came out like years ago at MUFON. before it came out on media.
Right,
You hear
right.
about this stuff way before. And there are actually people from ASU doing theses and papers that are sitting in the audience.
What do you?
We've got some time.
Oh, okay. All right.
So-
Good. Okay.
But talking about MUFON and all that fun stuff, though, I didn't hear your comment last night, but we have an invitation to visit Skinwalker Ranch.
That's freaking awesome. No, I did see your text. I didn't get a chance to respond to you though.
We have an insider,
I'm there.
and so they said we could come right now, and I said no, we'll wait till summer.
Yeah, exactly. But that needs to be a trip we plan.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
I need to get an
We need to do
RV. I sold my RV, so I need to get
Mhm.
another RV.
Yeah,
Screw it,
so
just take
we've
the
got
vehicles.
a personal invitation
To Skinwalker Ranch?
That is
to
awesome.
Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah.
That's very cool.
There.
So
You got it.
So that
We're there.
that encompasses all of it. I mean, that's paranormal and UFO stuff that goes on down
Mhm.
that area. So
And for those of you that don't know
Well,
about Skinwalker Ranch, do some research on it because it'll freaking blow your mind. Didn't History Channel just have a special on Skinwalker Ranch? And they have like a series on
yeah,
it?
they do have
Yeah.
a whole series on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's from
So-
cattle mutilizations to just all kinds of weird shit happening
Yeah,
there.
anything that's
that would be
unexplained
Linda
is the
Moulton
place.
Howe.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
an expert in the field
And you know what?
of cattle.
I'm gonna have to disappear for just a second. I can't contain myself any longer.
I
I'll put it back on
All
Tim
right.
and I.
The
There you
excitement
go.
is
She,
just-
she can,
I can see the excitement in your
she
eyes.
disappears. That's funny. So yeah, Skinwalker's got a lot. I mean, between just the paranormal and the UFO.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Again, Linda is one of the biggest advocates for that division of paranormal activity. She's a very, very big cattle mutilation. Did he say mutilization?
Mutilation.
Um,
I think I butchered the word. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's all right.
After a couple
Butchered the cattle.
No, but
Nobody's butchering cattle. I'm sorry.
don't they say that it's a portal or there's something weird with
All
the
right.
property?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, there are reports of cows being lifted up into the air and disappearing in midair. Not just the mutilization where the cows on.
You just said it.
I say mutilization,
mutilation.
mutilation, not mutilization.
Mutilization.
Is that a new word?
It
is now.
It's a Timism or a Joeyism. We'll go with one of
Tism
them.
is
Either way.
Oh, what is it? I forget. We have all those words we used to make up. What were those?
What?
Isms.
Isms, yeah. Well, we make up isms all the time. We come up with new words, new languages.
Someone needs more beer. You're right, Caroline. We're out.
Yeah, we are out of beer.
No,
We
so
drank all of them already.
back to the point.
Sorry.
Mutilation.
Mutilations. Yeah.
Mutilation.
Cattle mutilations.
Not mutilization. Of course, if that word doesn't exist, I'd like to patent it right now.
Let's do it. That's what we're going to use from now on.
What are the words we used to say that were funny? We don't remember.
We had a lot of them. We have too many of them. Now.
all right.
Dramatically complexicated.
They
That
were all
was one of them.
paloozas.
Yeah. No, Paloozas came later. That was,
Mutapalooza.
yeah. Heavy Metal Beer Club. Thanks for joining.
So-
Cheers.
So nobody has a comment on MUFON. That's fine. You don't. Timism.
Maybe
That's
not
fine.
everybody's been.
Yeah, it's a Timism. You said that.
Yeah. Timism.
That's a new word.
Hey, Andrea. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Andrew. We're talking about cattle mutilization.
It's a new word.
It's a new word.
I like it. I like it. We need to go with it. Need to run with it. When Joey gets back, we'll tell him.
Yeah. I think he said it before he left.
I think I said it. I don't know if Joey said it or not.
Did you say mutilization?
Or did we say mutilization?
Utilization? What is it?
Mutilation.
I think Joey said it.
We're
first.
calling it a Timism now.
Well,
Are you taking a bath?
Yes.
No,
Mutilation.
mutilation.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
you said mutilization, which was
Well, that's the art of mutilation. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
there's
so cool.
two parts to it, you know.
All right.
Either
All right.
you're the mutilized or you're the mutilationer, right?
I like that. I think where he's going
So-
with this.
Okay.
I like it.
So I knew what I was talking about.
He gets
So-
in depth with this stuff.
So can you say I've been mutilized?
Sure.
Every night.
Wow. Mutilization.
What the hell are we talking about?
Mutilization.
Oh,
Well, that's if
You're talking about cattle.
Lindsay, it's mutilization. Is that what you said?
That's M-O-O-T. Mutilization.
Mutilization.
No, it's M-U, I'm pretty sure.
We're talking about Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and
I-
mutilization.
I was asking,
Mutilation.
is it a portal or vortex there? Something with that property.
Well,
something like that.
They
right?
witnessed cattle being drawn up into the air. So that would indicate a portal.
But it's not just aliens, though. They have like cryptids there. They talk
Oh,
about cryptids,
cattle.
all kinds of shit. Yeah, but it's not just cattle. Though. There's
Yeah, I mean,
more.
Skinwalker is the Native American.
Word for a gray.
No, they come back as an animal, don't they?
They
Reptilian.
Shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters. They're reptilians.
Whatever.
Or the
They could
ant
be.
people. They're called reptilians, the ant people, the skinwalkers are the ones that shapeshift.
Yeah.
Right, but I thought they changed into an animal. Like they have
They can.
like a spiritual
They
animal or
can.
something that they have. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Native Americans relate it to alien,
Right.
but it makes sense that it could be.
That it ties together.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't use that word.
Right.
But you know what? We ought to do a Native American investigation.
Oh, we're
Up
living in the
north.
right
I
area.
was gonna say, take
No,
your
up,
pick.
up north near like
Why up north?
You just need to go to the Superstition
right,
Mountains.
Exactly. Probably
Yeah.
the most famous. Yeah. One of the most famous.
we're
Yeah,
talking
that's a-
superstition mutilization.
Apache land, man.
Speaking of superstitions,
Yeah.
we think we saw a UFO there a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You told me. about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like our Bigfoot,
Experience.
experience. I mean, we went to find Bigfoot and we found ghosts. So we went to do a ghost investigation
We found a
And found
UFO.
at a ranch and we found an alien.
I'm telling you, man.
So
all you have
it's-
to do is go spend some time out there.
I just want to, if you know anything about the superstitions, the part of the mountain we're looking at, I don't see how you get a vehicle up there. And
They're
on the edge
supposed
like
to
it
be
was.
Do you have
part
a
of that
picture in your
mountain.
archive there of the superstitions? Just curious.
They're supposed to be part of the mountain that opens up that vessels go enter, and they're called alien bases on Earth. And you can Google that. There's many of them. One's in Flagstaff, one's in Tucson near Mount Lemmon, and one is supposed to be at Superstition Mountains. But if you Google alien bases on Earth, they will give you a list of about 117 known alien bases on Earth.
Right.
And one's in Flagstaff, one's in Tucson, and one's in the Superstition Mountains, which evidently opens up. They go in and out of all the time.
Sorry if
You
everybody.
have an Undead Rising file?
Yeah, I think I do somewhere.
I've witnessed several weird things out of the superstitions.
They just amaze me. They're kind of
Euphoric.
Hypnotizing.
They're
just to stare at them because they're so amazing. Oh, you know what? I bet you have that cougar on there, don't you? Oh, there we go. I see it.
This one,
There's-
right?
yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah. That's a good shot of the supers, of the soups.
Was that one where we kind
Do you-
of superimposed though?
Oh, it could be. Put
see.
the storm behind.
Do you know that
Yeah.
there are people all over the world that save up their life savings to come explore the superstitions?
No, they do. Seriously,
Yeah,
they do.
And there's a couple of brothers from Michigan that were lost out there a couple of years ago. They never found.
So I think that was one of the
That's-
peaks right there.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it, in the
flat. I
middle?
believe that's called Flatiron. is the name of that peak.
See
And the one almost in the very center, wasn't it, Joey? The one that we saw the
Yeah.
lights around?
Mm-hmm.
I've rock climbed that piece on the left there. See that piece that goes up?
Is that
jagged
Weaver's
piece?
Needle?
Yes, I've rock climbed that. It's a 5.2.
So right in the middle to the left, where the left peak is, kind of, that's where we saw that light.
That's
Yeah.
where the airplane crashed.
You know what's weird? I swear to God, I just saw an orb go in front of my head.
Oh dear.
I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Did anybody see that? Is it my imagination? I literally think I just saw an
I
orb.
think it was a mouse.
I don't know.
The mouse is on the table.
Was it the mouse?
A mouse in the hand is worth more than
Foot in a barn. Oh my!
you know where it's going with
What did you
that.
just say? Really?
No, I think you had the mouse.
No, I don't think it was. No, I saw
Was
it
it a light?
in front of my glasses. I
Hey,
didn't see
turn
it
back
on the
on your ghost
screen.
tube.
I'm not turning on the ghost tube. That shit just invites bad things.
We don't know. It's not necessarily bad.
I have to send Kelly the link again. Hang on.
No, but I'm telling you guys, go out there and stare at the supers. I did a lot of photography out there.
So no, it was the bubbles from the beer
Uh-huh.
that you saw.
Yeah, the bubbles floating up from the beer.
Those are called suds.
Is that what it was?
Which
Yeah,
means
They were suds.
searching and understanding.
Discovering spirits.
Huh?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
If we had a but all I've got is
Sorry.
the
No, but if you ever get a chance to go out to superstitions and sit at the foothills at night, I mean, there's camping areas out there I've been to, and you just stare up that thing at night. It's just overwhelming. There's nothing like it in the world.
tiny bubbles in my booze.
Did we get off topic?
We're talking about, well, yeah, we did, and I'm hoping Kelly gets on because Kelly had just did an investigation at a Civil War cemetery.
Oh, awesome. Kelly, join us.
So I'm really anxious to.
We're going to send you that link right now so you can.
Because she needs to help us get back on topic.
What was our topic?
I just sent it, Kelly. Hopefully it goes through quick. So our
Quicker
topic
than the beer is passing
well,
through
our
me.
topic was Skinwalker Ranch, but
Skinwalker
now
Ranch
we're kind of
and
beyond
portals.
that now. Yeah, we're talking about
Because
being
it's a portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Like Sedona.
Are you
Like,
touching my mouse? Get away from my mouse.
man,
No, I really, when I was just looking at the picture of superstitions, I saw an orb go over the top of my glasses.
we'll have to go back and look at that.
We will. When he says, are we ever on topic? No, not really.
well, that's true.
Yeah, we are. It's the truth about beer and whatever
it's-
we talk about.
It's the huh.
There's
There we are,
Kelly
Kelly.
now.
All right, come on, Kelly.
There she is.
Hey,
Hi.
can you hear us, Kelly?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Can you hear us?
There's a 10-second delay.
15, 16, 20.
Are you taking a bath?
What?
I never
Where's
said
that? I
that.
never said that either. Yeah.
Kelly, are you taking a bath?
What?
Oh, Lord. Mutilization. That was a long time ago.
Kelly, can you hear us?
I don't think she can hear us.
Uh-oh.
We're in a portal. That's like,
Dude, that's
that's like
like
10 minutes
she's-
ago.
yeah.
That was a while ago.
Okay. Maybe we send her a message to say, fast forward to the,
Yeah.
I'm going to pull off real quick just so.
Sorry about that, Kelly.
I don't have. Let's see.
It's weird that there's such a delay when they were listening
Yeah,
to me, you know,
that is
because
really
it's like a
crazy.
10-second delay. So
I mean, we can drive a rover on Mars like real time, but we can't
we can't stream exactly.
stream.
That's funny. Kelly, give us a thumbs up if you could hear us. I think because she's listening to the show,
Yeah.
probably instead of listening on the.
She needs headphones.
I'm so confused.
All right, I'm going to go check it.
What are you checking?
What are you checking?
Oh, okay. He's going to check.
What are you checking? As soon as we see a thumbs up, Kelly, you need to go to the live part of the show. You're a couple minutes back.
Yeah, it's weird. Is it that much? It's not that much of a lag, is it?
No.
I think it's like a 10-second
She may
lag.
have paused it or something. I don't know.
Waiting for the thumbs up. It's weird because when you don't use headphones, you get kind of lost with the.
Do you have your text handy?
Just on Instagram.
Okay. I thought I had her on the messaging here. But tell her to make sure she hits it live. Hit live. Join us. Kelly, we're talking to you. Yeah. Sorry for the dead air here, folks. Getting this figured out. What did I miss?
What?
Don't go away, Kelly.
I don't remember anybody saying go take a bath.
I don't remember that either.
That said, I don't remember any of that stuff. That was kind of weird. But did you say no? You didn't say that. I don't know who said that.
I don't remember who said that.
That was kind of weird. Welcome back, Tim.
I think it's like a 38-second delay.
It ain't that long. It should be only like a 10-second delay. But
Yeah.
Now she's gone.
yeah, she gave up.
Step away for a second.
All right.
I was gonna say something too. Now I lost what I was gonna say. Damn it! I hate when that happens.
Oh, me too.
I totally lost what I was gonna say. I don't know where Alicia is too. She was supposed to jump on. She was all ready to jump on. I haven't seen her.
Okay.
Catching up on comments here.
Well, you do that. And then I'm going to grab another story here.
You have another story?
I've got a bunch. I've got a ton.
Ask Joey if he was in the shower. You in the shower, Joey? You know what I didn't put up though? You had a picture of the plane.
Oh, I did. The Flying Fortress.
Yeah, I didn't put that up.
The B-19.
The B-19, 17.
There it
That
is
is
right
a
there.
17.
Yeah.
So when you fly in these things, they just rattle. They're just constant.
Can you hear us, Kelly?
vibration.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Go live. Hit live.
She's not there. She's leaving again.
She said she could hear us. She just sent a message back saying she could hear us.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she hears us real
But
time though.
when you're riding in these airplanes, there's nothing but when you all right. So you know when you go roller skating and you take your skates off, you feel like you're still skating.
Yeah.
You know when you go on a
get
cruise
those-
ship,
That's like sea legs. Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
sea legs. All right.
Yeah.
When you ride in these things and you get off the ground, as you walk, your legs are just like they're vibrating because of the shake of the motors.
Well, the
It's-
bombers, didn't they lay on their stomachs in the belly of the
yeah,
plane?
they had to
Yeah.
because if they didn't have the legs to when they would get out of the aircraft, they would walk and fall.
So that's why they laid
They
down.
had to take
or
the
was it
vibration
just-
off the feet, off the legs.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
They
I
lay
didn't
on
know
their
that was
bellies.
Yeah. So you want to hear a tank story?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear a tank story.
Unless Kelly's ready to go.
I will.
She's ready to go.
She's
A
ready.
rubber
to go.
came
All
off
right.
in my ear.
There you are.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
how you doing?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't have any headphones on, so but I
All
can hear.
right. Well, we know you just had a chance to go explore or investigate a Civil War cemetery. And so-
Yes, it was super creepy, super cool. Captured some really cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was an honor. I tried to honor them and do the best. I was kind of worried about doing an investigation in a cemetery. I didn't know if it was rude or I didn't know what the rules were, but yeah, I mean, I loved it.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Which cemetery did you go to for the people? Let them know.
Well, it was Steeple Hill, which is in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's literally a half a mile, if that, from my house. So I Googled, yeah, I didn't even realize it was there. I just Googled cemeteries near my home and it popped up and I drove by and started doing some research and it happened to be a Civil War cemetery and there were like 48 soldiers buried there that were known. And then there's 3 that are unknown. And then I just went on their website and just dug up all kinds of history, and it was super sad because it was created back in the 1800s, and they had built onto it. And when they first started it, they just left rocks in their place. A lot of the soldiers didn't have headstones at all. And the headstones that were there were broken and just not kept up. And I just felt sorry for all the soldiers that had, sacrificed their lives for this country, and it just wasn't honored.
I think they were rushed. It was just there was no time.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised. I thought they would all be Confederate soldiers, their graves, but out of the 48, 10 of them were Union. And I'm in Arkansas, so I'm in the South. So I was really surprised to see 10 out of the 48.
That's very
were Union
respectful that they would
Yeah.
take the time to take the enemy and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was an honor. It really was. And there was so much energy and just, you could feel the history there. You really could.
What type of evidence did you get?
Woo. Well, I had
I felt that.
it was probably the most evidence I've ever captured. And granted, I haven't been doing this very long, but we were doing a Ouija board session, my son and his best friend. I know. But it was Halloween night. It was last weekend and there was a full moon. And so we kind of investigated there. And obviously we were able to talk to someone. A soldier named Chad came through on the Ouija board. And I know Ouija boards are very controversial and investigating cemeteries are controversial. So I get that. But I had the Mel meter sitting next to me and I asked the Ouija board if there were any spirits here, and you could see the Mel meter just slide. It moved on its own on camera.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was pretty freaky. And then we had a couple of shadow figures that went by the camera. You could see them on camera. And then there were 3 kind of clear white ghosts that came by. So kind of a little bit of everything. Yeah. I didn't capture any EVPs. I didn't capture like the Mel meter didn't go off. The EMF reader didn't go off, but you could see apparitions on camera and you can see my meters moving.
You get really incredible evidence on camera. You really do. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, and I heard the Mel meter was sitting next to me. I heard it, but I didn't see it because I was looking this way. And so I heard it move and I thought maybe it was a frog that had jumped or something because it was really loud. And you probably know the Mel meter is pretty heavy. I mean, it's a pretty solid piece of equipment. And I thought maybe a frog had jumped. So all I could hear was the leaves moving. And so I couldn't tell until I went home and checked the footage that you could actually see the Mel meter moving on camera. And one of the craziest things is when I saw the black shadow went by during the investigation, I turned and looked at the camera and gave it this really weird ominous look, and it was at the same time that the shadow figure had gone by, and I didn't see or hear anything, but it was just instinct, and you could see the black shadow figure go by, and then I turn and look at the camera.
Wow.
As if, yeah, it kind of freaked me out a little bit, looking at the footage afterwards.
Wow.
That's
Have
great.
you seen my video? It's been uploaded. You should check it out.
Yeah. I have watched most of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't got the way through. But
Yeah.
your son and his friend are pretty good to have around, I would say.
They are hilarious. And his friend is he's been at my house. He's kind of had a tough upbringing, and so he kind of spends all of his time at my house. So I kind of just unofficially adopted him. He'll come over and he said, "What's for dinner, Ma?" And he'll come over and eat and spend the night. And he's kind of like my second son, not officially, but yeah. Their dynamic is really cool. And, I'm obviously a huge believer. And then his friend is kind of like half and half. And my son is a huge skeptic. He thought this whole thing was a joke. So you can see the dynamic between a huge believer, someone who's half and half, and someone who doesn't believe any of it. And then they're young and they're funny. And yeah, they're so cool.
Now, I want to see the part where they're both doing the Ouija board, because I hadn't got to that part yet. So
yeah, that's where all the evidence takes place.
That's crazy.
That's cool. I'll have to watch it. Unfortunately, I don't have time during the day anymore with my job. It sucks, but
jobs.
Well, I've timestamped it in the description box. I've timestamped it. It'll show you, like, if you just want to get to the nitty gritty, it just click on the timestamps and it'll take you right to the millimeter moving. It'll take you right to the shadow figure. So you can skip all the other stuff that you don't want to watch. But yeah, click on the timestamps and it'll take you right to the good stuff.
So do you think you learn more from watching a skeptic and a semi-believer do an investigation?
100%, because you can see the whole thing through their eyes. My son wants to question everything, and my son's friend, or my adopted son, he was a skeptic until he went on his first investigation with me, and he's been hooked. He's like, "When are we going again? When are we going again?" He actually joined us this Saturday when we went to the No Mercy house, caught some really cool stuff there, and he's obsessed now. He's like, "Can we do this every week, Ma?" Absolutely. So yeah, they want to be officially on my team. Like I've created a team now.
That's cool. That's
awesome. You need to run with that.
I am. Yeah. And they're literally so funny. Their personalities are so funny. It'll make good TV one day.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So speaking of TV though, do you know more about when your episode's going to be?
Yes. I've been emailing them because they told me it was like, well, I can't say, but they did tell me which episode it was. And so I kind of counted the weeks when that would air. And then the last 3 Sundays has been reruns in like the top 100 episodes. And it kind of threw the whole schedule off.
No.
So I emailed them and I said, "Hey dudes, what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, we're working on it. We're working on it." They did tell me it's not this Sunday, but possibly the next one. So not this one, but the next is what I've been kind of gathering.
So Paranormal caught on tape on the Travel Channel.
And I just signed a contract today. They actually have also used that same clip for the Osbournes, Want to Believe.
Oh, really?
Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah, so they emailed me today and said the Osbournes loved this clip. They want to use this on that show. So it's going to be on season 2 on the Osbournes. So it's the same clip.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
So you also go, "Oh, it was kind of, well, I'm not sure. It was
crazy people from Arkansas, yeah.
That clip was incredible, though. I remember when you shared it with us. I was like, "Holy crap, that was incredible!"
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, your channel's doing really, really well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's doing
I'm
okay.
excited for you.
Thank you. And I'm your biggest fan. Y'all are amazing. And
Wow,
Thank you.
you're so supportive of everyone in the community. It's great to be a part of that. So love your energy, love your
Awesome community.
positivity. I mean, just keep it up. That's why I'm here, because I love you guys.
That's
Thank you.
sweet. Thank
We
you.
appreciate
you.
that.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad you joined us tonight. That was
I
fun.
know. I was in my pajamas. I had no makeup on. I was like, hold on just a minute. I'll change and
You did great.
Yeah.
get ready real quick.
That was quick.
Yeah, and it's what do we got? Is it 10 o'clock? Or
It's
11?
9 here. I don't know. Is it 10 there?
It's 8 here.
It's 8 here. So you just an hour?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
9. It's 9 here.
Yeah.
Okay. We never change, so we just get so confused.
We don't care. We don't care about the rest of the country. We're always
we just keep
where
our
we are.
watches where they're at.
Yeah. No need to change.
Yeah, and so being a history teacher, I love that you're doing this segment 100%. I love the fact that you're honoring veterans, and because they get lost and forgotten so much. And so yeah, I mean, this is amazing. I appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm not a veteran, but
No,
It seems like there's only certain times of the year that we remember them. And
yeah.
that's just
I mean,
wrong.
they sacrifice so much.
We should remember every day, and we don't.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we give them basically
We give
three
them a few days a year.
three
and it's just
days a
wrong.
year, right? We
Yeah,
got
it's just so
Memorial,
wrong.
Labor Day, and
Memorial,
Veterans Day.
Memorial, veterans, and yeah.
And so
But we should think about them every
July
day.
July 4th, we tend to
true.
honor them
Yeah.
too on
Yeah.
July 4th.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean,
But
it
still,
is-
we should think about them every day.
the sacrifice that they give to protect our freedoms and to serve
Every
our
day we
country
open
is
our
just-
eyes
I
is
mean,
because of them.
100%.
the
Couldn't
fact
agree
that we're doing this right now is because of them.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
We
you
wouldn't
know,
be here.
I will tell you, it's kind of on topic, but not really on topic. But have you seen the musical on Broadway, Hamilton, about Alexander Hamilton?
I've seen it.
Okay. So my daughter, who's 14, is she's a singer. She's obsessed with music, and she can sing. And so she started watching it just based off of the music alone. And she's like, Mom, I saw this amazing thing called Hamilton. And so we started watching it, and she's like, I love this, but I don't understand any of it. So I had to pause it after each song and explain, because it's about the Revolutionary War. I had to explain to her, King George and the colonies and all of that. And, I teach high school. She's in middle school. So she's like, Mom, at the end of the musical, after we had gone through the whole thing, she said, why doesn't every history teacher teach like this? And I said, well, baby, I don't know, but they should, because history is really cool. And she is obsessed with history now. She cannot stop watching it. She went to the library and got like 3 Hamilton books, George Washington books, her whole, like, she's obsessed with history now and the Revolutionary War. And I love it.
I
And
think history's being forgotten. Or
and we need to teach it to where they have stories, and it's not just
Mhm.
a name and a date and a book. But
I was going to ask you, because when you look at history today, what they're being taught, and compared to when we went to school, it's incredibly different. But do they control what you can teach, or do you decide what you want to teach? I mean, do they give you a curriculum that you have to follow, or do you?
it's
basically
Common
make a
Core,
decision?
right?
Wait, but I don't think it's everywhere though.
No, I think Common Core is mainly in elementary school. We don't really follow Common Core in high school, but we have standards, what they call standards, and we have topics that we have to cover. But we are given quite a bit of leeway on how we cover them. So they trust us and they trust our instincts. And they say you have to cover the Revolutionary War and make sure that you have this. But, we have a lot of leeway on how we do it. We can get pretty creative. It's just, a lot of history teachers are coaches. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with coaches. I've been a coach before, but their main thing is their sport, and the classroom is kind of second. And so, especially during season, and I just wish that there are a lot of teachers in history would just be dialed in to that
Right,
subject
right.
and not have a side gig. You would get a whole lot more in depth with it. So, but I mean, it's like any subject. You can hate math or you can love it depending on the teacher you have. You can hate history, you can love history depending on how the teacher presents it. And you know, and teachers are very powerful. And I wish it were all taught like that.
My history teacher showed movies all the time, and when the movie was over, we would look in the back of the classroom, and he'd be just sound asleep.
No.
Oh yeah, that was my entire
Getting ready for the basketball.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't a coach. He definitely wasn't a coach.
They don't have to
Right.
be.
Right.
And I can't even remember any of my history teachers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
So
Oh,
sad.
and-
That makes me
and I
sick.
love history too. History is just so fascinating.
And I'm from Texas, so it was all about Texas history. I didn't learn American history growing up in school.
Well, are you on Twitter? Did you see my last tweet about my daughter and what she said about Texas history? Because I'm from Texas too. I don't know if you can see my tattoo.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a tattoo. I was born and raised in Texas, in Dallas, actually right outside of Dallas, Cedar Hill. And the only thing we learned was the Alamo and the Mexican Revolution and all of
in
that.
Texas, I was taught Texas history. There was no
Yes.
American history. It
Yes.
was all about Texas.
And
when
we're
I
very
moved out of the
proud in
state-
Texas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're very
yeah,
proud of me. When
yeah.
I moved out of
Mhm.
the state, I realized there was other history other than
Yes.
Texas, and it blew
Well,
my
my
mind.
daughter on Friday, and I tweeted this out. She's 14 and she just left history class. It was like 3:30. She had just left school and she's like, "Hey mom, I want to tell you, I just learned about this thing in Texas history about a revolution with the Mexicans at this fort. It's really big. And we should go there one day and then you can investigate it." And I said, "Are you talking about the Alamo?" And she goes, "How do you know all this stuff?"
It was forced down in
It is
Texas,
true.
man. It was forced down our throat. Texas history was a mandatory subject over American history by far.
Oh,
Hey, well, I'm not from Texas, but I remember the Alamo.
Bless your heart.
But
no,
do-
I've got
do
to
you
take
think-
her. I've got to take her to San Antonio. We've got to visit the Alamo. And what's really cool is she's starting to pick up on this ghost investigation stuff. And she's like, "Take all your equipment. We'll go and chill at the Alamo, and then you can find some ghosts. You know, do your thing, mom. Let's go visit San Antonio."
But do you think, not to get political in any means, because we don't do that here, but do you think the world would be a different place if everybody taught history the way history really was, how it really happened? Do you think it'd be a different place
100%.
right now? I mean,
Yeah, I do. I think we would appreciate each other's differences more. I think we would have our viewpoints would be bigger. We wouldn't be so closed-minded.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we're in this narrow viewpoint instead of looking at the bigger picture.
They
There's
should have taught Texas history in every state.
yes. And one of the things that I was telling my students today is I was telling them that Texas is the only state that was actually its own country and that we fly our flag side by side to the American flag and every other
Not
state flies
above
it
or below it.
that because we think we're so good. We're like, we're not flying our flag underneath.
We are.
Flag.
I say we.
gotta
I'm
do it
still
side by
Texas.
side.
I think you guys were the only state that had enough votes to actually secede from the union, didn't you? At one
And we
point?
still could right
You're
now.
still good, right?
Good. Let's just go.
They're digging a border right now all along the Texas border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Texas.
There's America and there's Texas.
There's America and there's Texas. Yeah. It's a whole other country.
And
Everything's
you don't
bigger and
understand
better.
unless you've been there. You really just don't understand.
It's a whole nother vibe for sure.
It's a whole nother.
No, when people see me and they're like, "Oh, you're from Arkansas," I'm like, "Actually, no, I'm from Texas." And they go, "Oh, that makes sense."
Well, that explains the tattoo.
Right.
That explains it. Yeah.
So you had to get a tattoo so people would stop asking you about Arkansas.
Yes. And I don't have an Arkansas tattoo, only Texas.
You know, you can take a girl out of Texas, but you can't take Texas out of a girl.
100%. Not
That's
going
cool.
anywhere.
Is there a song? What is that?
I don't know, but I'm born and bred Texan. I'm
What
born and
city?
bred- Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock. Oh,
I lived in Arlington. I lived in Houston. I lived right across the street from Six Flags in Arlington. I lived in
Six Flags,
I
Arlington.
lived
Yes,
in
I got
Bedford.
sick of Six Flags. Every time someone would visit, they're like, "Let's go to Six Flags." I'm like, "Oh my god,
I know.
I've been
please.
there.
Literally 15 minutes from my house. Can we go
Let's go to the Grapevine flea market.
Yes.
But thank you for what you do, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's certain jobs in this country that really we need to give a lot of credit to that we don't give a lot of credit to. And I think teachers are one because you're shaping the minds of all the young kids. And
Yeah.
if
Well,
it's
I mean, and a history teacher.
right, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
because if history is taught the way it should be, then it shouldn't repeat itself.
It should not.
And it won't in
should
Texas.
not. But
What's
some
really
reason-
been hard though is the pandemic and online learning and trying to do everything that they're requiring us to do, and it's not working. The online learning is not working. It's just meeting these checklists, and we really need to see our kids face to face, and we're trying to do what we can to keep them engaged, and we're doing our best, but it's not ideal for sure.
Well, here's the thing. Even as an adult, when I went to college, I started doing a lot of online classes, and you have to be organized. You have to be structured in order to be able to. These young kids, they don't have that.
No,
you
they
can't
don't have the
expect them to
ability.
learn online. They
Right.
need that interaction. They need that
Mhm.
social interaction with the teacher.
They need to say, "Hey, spit out your gum." They
Right.
need like interaction.
Well, and a lot of these kids, when you're in college, they expect you to have learned the organizational skills that are required in college. And in high school, they have not been taught organizational
So they're
skills,
not
how
prepared
to
for it.
organize your time, how to organize your notebook, how to keep track of everything you need to keep track of. We just assume that they know how to organize, and they can't. And you can't do online learning without organization. And you've got some of these kids trying to learn, and they've got 5 or 6 siblings in the background screaming and just chaos. And they're trying. We're all trying, and it's, I don't know.
It ain't
Have
working.
you guys ever taken an online course? It's like, especially when you get to college, the teacher doesn't give a shit if you do your work or
No,
not.
I'm too ADD. I can't.
Right. But you pay for the class. If you screw it up, you screw it up.
Yeah.
It's your money.
It's your
what I
money.
mean? That's
High
the
school's
thing. We're
different.
supposed to be preparing kids for that future. And I think it's the wrong way to do
It's
it.
the wrong
I don't
way.
think, I don't think it's going to prepare them for it.
Yeah, it's like any course that I would try to take always turns into a music theory course because I can't concentrate on whatever that course is.
Right.
I think half the
It's good.
nation is ADD. So, Kelly, tell me, where you from again in Texas?
It's a suburb right outside of Dallas called Cedar Hill. It's by
I know where Cedar
Dallas.
Hills is. I dated a girl in Plano. I know all about Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, it was, I had a really hard childhood, but the city was amazing. I love going back to visit it. Yeah, I mean,
So is Greenville still pretty cool, or is that all?
That's where my daughter lives.
Greenville.
Greenville, downtown Dallas. Is that?
Oh no, not Greenville, Texas is up kind of northwest.
Yeah, it's not near Dallas.
Greenville Avenue,
Okay, so it's a street.
Sherman.
Oh, is that a street? No.
Not
So you
Greenville,
don't
Texas.
get downtown much.
Downtown Dallas? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I mean, I would go to Deep Ellum whenever I was like 16, 17.
Have you been to the Star Club?
Oh yeah.
Get out! Are you?
Oh,
kidding
stop
me?
it!
Are you
Yeah.
kidding
And
me?
then
Grace
Billy
Keith and
Bob's?
Stevie Nicks on the Star Club. I used to go there back in the
Billy Bob's, you've been to Billy Bob's where they
Oh,
cut your
I love
thigh?
Billy Bob's. Yeah,
Yeah. I learned how to dance there.
yeah. I saw the Go-Go's there.
Yeah.
In the words of Tim Rice,
So
road trip.
no,
I mean, well, that's
Yeah, road
That's
trip.
where
Chisholm Trail. I mean, she knows everything. I mean,
wasn't that Urban Cowboy from Billy Bob's? Was that?
no, that was
No.
Mickey Gilly.
Oh, Mickey
Gillies,
Gillies.
yeah,
That's right.
Gillies,
Gillies. That's right.
At the Stockyards, if you ever get a chance, man, that's like the best place in the whole world.
Oh, did I
What?
just lose you?
No.
Why?
Oh no, I don't know what I thought. All of a sudden, my ears went
I think it was
dead for a
I
second.
think it was my voice.
Well, that's
I
weird.
think, okay.
Stockyards, Billy Bob's,
Nice.
Yes, Stockyards. Yeah, I've
North Richland
been
Hill.
there times. I'm just really disappointed in my Cowboys. I mean, everyone hates the fact that I'm a Cowboys fan, but You know, I grew up with the Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Deion Sanders days when we were winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl. And then now it's like, oh, but you know.
My wife won't let me watch football right now.
Why?
She's just really depressed about all the politics about
Because he hasn't been able to shave.
Because I can't shave.
We're after those 1,000 subscribers.
So Kelly, really, my wife's listening. Is this cool?
Okay. Well, I can't see. Your icon is like super little. Yeah, I mean, I like facial hair. It's good.
Hold on, I'll blow us up real quick. There you go.
All right.
There you go. We're on No Shave November, right?
We're in
So
no
you don't
shape.
shave your face. And I don't shave my face.
Subscribers. What are we at right now? Do we know?
5,
Not enough.
60 something.
Oh my God,
We're halfway there.
I'm gonna get a divorce. She's not gonna let up until I shave.
I'm going for the Santa Claus look.
I can't do this, guys.
We have to do a picture tonight with the three of us.
We
for
have
our
to come up
beards.
with another.
No, we already
challenge.
agreed to 1,000 and we'd shave. So we
Okay,
got
well
to
then
stick with that.
We have to
talk
stick
to my
to
wife.
1,000.
What your wife knows.
Or else I'm
Tell her to
moving
start campaigning
I'm-
for more
I'm
subscribers.
going to move in here if I don't get to shave.
Kelly, tell all your students to go like us on YouTube.
Yeah,
Do you know how many students? Yes. Do you know how many students subscribe to my channel?
All right. Well,
I'm
tell
sure.
them we need
I'm
500 subscribers.
I'll get them to
tonight.
subscribe to yours as well.
Awesome.
There you
That'd be
go.
Awesome.
Yes.
We have
How
some
long
cool
have I been doing it?
Well, teach them what good beers they can drink when they get old enough.
Yes.
What was your question?
How long have you been doing this? Because I'm almost at 700. You're almost at 600. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're
We
gonna
don't want to talk
grow
about
together.
that. Well, you're better
We-
looking than
yeah.
we are, so
It's really, really.
we're three ugly guys up here.
It's
you know?
really urgent that we get to 1,000.
Is it?
We've been doing this for a year and a half,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
but not live. We haven't done the live stuff for a year and a half.
Yeah.
We've been putting out episodes.
And we've gotten a lot of subscribers just since I met you guys. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will
We went from 75 subscribers to over 500 since
Wow.
we met you. So,
Yeah.
and
That's what
it's not
brought-
me. It's just because they went live.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
tell,
it's
your,
I will
happening.
do what I can.
tell your students they'll love it. They'll get a kick out of it. This is what you're going to be when you're old.
Really?
You're funny. You're funny as hell. You're stupid. Just say this is what you have to look forward to.
Okay. You can drink beer on camera. I mean, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell your
that's enough right
students
there.
you want to see a man drink a 13-year-old beer, go watch this channel.
I'm in.
There you go. That's perfect.
Thank you so much, Kelly. That's sweet.
Well, thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah,
I really
That was
want to
cool.
shave.
I support you guys, whatever I can do.
We appreciate that.
Well,
We really
thank
do.
you.
And
Yeah.
and yeah, it is important to us to stay active in the community and really promote the community because it really is one big happy
Mhm.
family. It really is.
And if you haven't subscribed to Kelly's,
Please do
Channel.
that. Kelly's
Absolutely.
Unexplained.
please.
I'm fun sometimes, It's a good time. Y'all are way more fun than me, though.
Oh,
don't
I
know.
wouldn't say that.
You got some pretty
That's
damn
from
good
a different
evidence too.
perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's all about just visuals, but I think y'all
think
are
we're funny
way
looking?
funnier.
Hold on. Where's Tim's close up? There we go. There's Tim.
You think we're you think we're funny?
I got two different angles for Tim now. There you go.
You think we're funny?
I still need to know how you do that whole background and your.
It's a secret.
You were supposed to call me, weren't you?
I messaged you and you didn't.
You did.
Uh-oh.
No, you didn't.
Uh-oh.
I would have got a message if you messaged me. What did you do it on?
Twitter, I think.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll look.
All right.
You know what we'll do? We'll do a StreamYard one night and we'll show you
Yeah.
how to do
But
it.
we can do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we can
Do
do
I
it.
have to go buy a green screen from Amazon?
No,
They're cheap. If
Just
you want to buy a
just-
green screen, they're really cheap. You can
just
buy
go
one
to
for
a
$40.
fabric store.
You can do that too. Anything green will work. Green or blue. You can actually use blue too.
You can use spray paint.
Oh, but but no, you can buy it. You can buy a small. You don't need anything big. We have
Right.
3 people, so we had to make it. Friggin' takes up
Yeah,
the
you
whole
just
wall.
need like
but-
a 4x8 piece of wood and paint it green, or a piece
Okay.
of fabric.
Should I show people what we look like without the green
Yeah,
screen?
here's
let's
what
get
we
it
look
on
like.
screen.
Here's what we look
So here's what it is without the green screen.
Hey,
Woo!
So yeah, we got a big ass green screen.
We're much sexier with the
So yeah, we like the background.
graphics.
So
That is so cool. Y'all are tech savvy for sure.
we try, even though our shit cuts out on us all the time. But hey,
Yeah, but that's paranormal.
Things
that's
happen.
not us.
It's all Julie.
You guys are the smartest nerds I know.
Thanks for that.
So-
Appreciate that.
Yes, good looking nerds for sure.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I take that as a compliment.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Thank you for
second that.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble though, for sure.
Oh no, I'm not offended. I'm not a nerd, but I'm not offended.
The only reason we get in trouble is by not shaving, but
I'm in so much trouble.
you are in trouble. I know.
Uh-oh.
We'll get there. We will get there. Have confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like Santa Claus beard.
And you'll be
I'm
better
gonna be
looking.
Santa Claus for Christmas.
Nice. We'll all be Santa Claus.
We all
for Christmas.
will.
What are you talking about? So,
So you guys haven't touched your beards since then, right?
like what?
Not even trimmed
From
it?
our 500th celebration episode was the last day that I shaved.
Yeah, I haven't touched mine either.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
So this is all
hmm
real and sassy.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, I mean, if you can grow it, grow it.
Right? Flaunt it. You might as well.
yeah.
I mean, you know how many men wish they could have that? They can't grow it.
No, I wish I had hair on my head.
Well,
I don't by choice.
think about this. When you're done growing it out, depending on how long it gets, you can cut it and put it on top of your head.
There you go.
Transplant.
Just do a comb over,
Right.
just long enough.
Yeah,
just kinda-
exactly. We're gonna look like Mike the Naked here soon, so we gotta be careful.
I just need to. I'm gonna have to start coloring it, or
We're gonna color it. You're gonna be purple.
Is it just for men? Is that what y'all use?
yeah, we
Yeah.
use just for men. But mine washed out.
I don't
Yeah,
use
mine's
shit.
about all completely grown
Yours is
out now.
out.
Except got some
Mine
tips.
looks like his. It's white.
I just let it go. Whatever it is, naturally.
Y'all are the next Sean Connery.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah. Well,
No, him and Alex Trebek. I feel
Yeah.
I'm
So,
too
The
late.
country-
we've lost a
Threes.
lot of really great people this year. It's
I know this year has sucked for sure.
you know,
This
you're
has been the worst year of, I think,
ever.
ever.
but it's been a pretty good one too. I mean, look at all the people that we've met this year.
It's true.
Yeah, but I
You know,
remember 98,
we met
95,
Kelly this year,
2000, 2011.
Our whole
This
paranormal
year has sucked
family.
for everybody, but in a whole different way.
But it really hasn't. And
But
I mean, it
I'm
depends.
so
You look
glad
at it from
about-
two different views.
Yeah, I think it's forced
kind of
us
an
to do
oxymoron.
things
Yeah.
differently, So
adjust.
so we've met a lot more. I think our family and those that we associate with are spread out a lot more
Well,
than they used to be.
Right.
2020 has
So-
been much better for me because of you guys. So
Oh,
I would take COVID again.
Hug, hug, hug.
Group hug. Oh, group
I would
hug.
take the COVID again versus losing you guys.
Well, you know what's funny? Joey and I were looking at analytics on our channel. What was it, last week we were looking at it?
Yeah.
And we had people listening all over the world.
All over the world, which has never happened.
We had no idea. People in Russia.
yeah, not me.
or-
They're all
Iceland.
here. So y'all got
That-
that.
Really? Have you done a full analytics on? Do you have TubeBuddy on YouTube?
Yeah, I do. And most, I thought the analytics really surprised me because like 75% of my viewers are women. And then it said 25% are men. And I'm like, okay, that's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, it's kind of what
It's
what-
because you just got up and didn't put it
Ours
in
was
makeup
more men than women.
Ours is more men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we know isn't.
So
Because
that's surprising. I
they're
don't know how accurate it is, but I don't know.
That's
I don't
strange.
it's fun to watch those numbers.
I think
though.
the
It
beer,
is.
it's very
the beer
I
and the beer.
get
and-
obsessed with them. Like I focus on them too much.
Mhm.
Instead of just doing it because I love it and it's fun, I get very competitive. I'm like, okay, I got to beat this number. This video's got to do better than this one. And then, I need all those green check marks and things like that. And so it kind of takes the realness out of it. And so I've got to step back from that. And
Yeah, you got to let that go.
So I'll tell you a funny story on that note. So when Joey and I first started this in season 1, we would watch our episodes we would release, and if we got, what was it, the first one we got to 100, we're like, We're texting
we
each
got-
other going, oh, we're at 99, we're at 100. You know, we're texting each other minute by minute. And I think to your point is 100% accurate is if you just go with it, if you just have fun, you just do what you're doing. I think ever since we started,
Is
you know,
what
the
it is.
live episodes,
Mhm.
you know, we have so much fun doing it. We don't want to stop doing it, but I think your growth will be natural when you start not worrying about the numbers so much and
Right.
just have fun what you're doing. I think it, you know,
Yeah, and I think your audience can see, like I've actually had messages on Instagram and Twitter when and even when I got to school, they said, I saw your last video and you seem stressed or you
Yeah.
seem, and it's like, how do you know?
it shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows. And I'm like, okay,
Well,
watch
we
it.
are not stressed.
That's why we drink beer.
That's when we started.
Yeah.
That's when we start drinking beer in the very beginning.
Take the edge off right away.
But you know, if you go back to a lot of our earlier episodes, we talk about it all the time, how we
It was
really
exciting.
we overproduced a lot of
Yeah,
our
we did.
episodes. You know, we had
My
all the
first episodes were
going on.
trash. Like, I don't even want to go back to looking at that.
But here's the thing:
That's what made
you can't think that way though, because
No.
sometimes the simpler your episode is, the better it is, the more attention it's going to get. I mean, I would spend hours and hours and hours putting all these special effects in our episodes, trying to make it look like freaking Hollywood, and we'd get 500 views. Like, what the hell? We got all this stuff going on, and we didn't get the views.
Some
But
of
then-
our better shows have been what we
the
didn't
more
put into it,
relaxed
yeah.
shows.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, so it really just depends. I would say don't change what you're doing. Honestly, I mean,
No,
your
you're
evidence you have is incredible that you get. I'd say
Keep going.
stick with exactly.
Yeah,
you're
don't
you're on a
be-
good path.
Well, thank you. Yeah, sometimes there's just days where I'm like, should I really be doing this? I'll get a negative comment here or
Yeah,
someone
ignore
will say
those.
something,
Don't worry about that.
and it's like, oh, you know, and it's really hard to be a teacher and do this. It's very taboo, and being a woman in this field is taboo. And you know, I get kind of like, oh, you hunt ghosts or you're into the paranormal. That's so weird. And I'm like, well, maybe I am weird. And so yeah, it makes me want to second guess myself, but I still love it. So I'm going to keep doing it until I don't love it anymore. But
I think there's more people that are. Go ahead. I know what you're
But
going to say.
I don't necessarily agree with that
I don't agree
statement
with
that
that.
it's taboo for women, because
No.
I think women tend to be more in our experience. I think the women
Oh,
tend to
no.
be more
Prominent.
open and more what's the word I'm looking for? More sensitive.
I,
Yeah, more
I think
sensitive.
you have
Yeah.
a better chance than we do.
Mhm.
well, when you look at all of the TV shows, all the paranormal TV shows on the
Yeah,
channel,
it is. It is.
100% men. So whenever, you know, my misconception before I even got in, I literally thought, and this is so stupid of me, but I literally thought I was the only woman that was in the paranormal because all you saw was men on TV.
Well,
And then I start to reach out and branch out on Twitter, and it's like, okay, there's way more women than I ever thought, and they've been doing this a lot longer than me.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
And-
crazy.
I don't know where I've been.
Well, I'll go back to my sorry, Joey. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I go back to my earlier statement by saying these TV shows nowadays tend to be forced. They're forced to show evidence. You have to, or else you're not going to have a successful TV show. The difference is I would take a Wendy, a Rebecca, and you over any of these guys I see on TV, because I've learned more from our experiences with them than I ever have watching a TV show.
right.
I mean, I've had more personal experiences.
And
because of
I'll,
that.
I'll give you an example. If you look at Ancient Aliens, you've got they're all men except for
Mhm.
Molten Hal, and bless her heart, she is hung in there and she's been there and she's at the forefront of her field. And I'm telling you, she's the only woman in Ancient Aliens. She's the only one.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah.
I
And
really
she-
think they should have like a Travel Channel show of just all women investigators and
Yeah.
see.
Okay, now you're going too far.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, really,
I'm
they-
kidding. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
You could have Amy Bruni, and I don't know if you know Chris Starr.
yep.
She's on Travel Channel. So there aren't and then Jack Osborne's co-host or investigator. How come I can't think
We
of her
got to
name,
get
but-
away from the stereotype though. And I think you should just, go in there, dive in deep, doing what you're doing. I enjoy it. I think you got something very special going. I don't
Yeah,
think
you
I
do.
don't think you. I think Keith and I both disagree. I think you should just like go full first forward and.
We disagree or we agree?
No, we agree to disagree with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
I don't think you have a disadvantage. I think you have an advantage,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Do what you do.
Is Amy's Crypt.
Amy's Crypt, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, from Australia. I don't know if you watch Amy's Crypt or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to do what I love. And like I said, until I don't love it anymore.
Just keep doing it. What you're doing is working.
I mean, I can only be me. So.
Yeah. And that's all anybody wants.
And you is working right now. You have what? 700 subscribers?
Almost. Like, I'm like 10 away. Yeah.
All right.
Well, 700 club.
We'll
so what are you going to do at 1,000?
I'm going. What should I do?
You should do something at 1,000.
Oh, we can't say grow a beard.
What should I do?
You got to come up with something to do at 1,000, so that pushes people to. We need an incentive.
How's that working for us?
I was going to say it's not working so well for us right now.
If we don't get 1,000, then I'm getting divorced, and I'm going to start dating the public, and you don't want that.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. I'll have to Google that. What should I do at 1,000?
No, it's up to you. Just make it a goal.
Oh, it's a goal. I want to get 1,000 by Christmas for sure.
Okay,
I want to get 800
by the end of this month. And they'll back you up.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Do the nut challenge.
Buy a turtle.
What is that? There's the pepper nut challenge or wherever that is.
Ghost pepper.
Well, yeah, that's part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caroline says, "Go get a tattoo live.
Get a tattoo live." Yeah.
Oh, I actually have. I just got this one. It's still pretty raw. I don't know if I can do this. Oh, I can't turn my. Oh, there it is. This one. I just got that one last week.
Cool.
And I'm getting another one this Friday for Friday the 13th. I'm getting a ghost tattoo to honor my ghost. My ghost.
So you need a special tattoo at 1,000 and
do it live.
Yeah, do it live.
You realize Joey and I have been talking about a tattoo for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, we were going to.
You guys aren't inked at all?
No.
Oh, I have like 20. I'm obsessed with them.
I think we got to do some sort of paranormal tattoo.
Well, I mean, the first tattoo we were going to get was going to be a Rattle Cat Junction tattoo, and then we didn't do that. And now it's like, well,
how about an alien snake?
I don't know.
Y'all should get a tattoo, a matching tattoo of a beer mug like your shirts.
Right?
Oh, I like that.
On our chest.
Interesting.
On your ankle.
We'll have to think about that. We'll think about that.
TTAB.
Yeah, there you go.
TTABA.
TTABA.
Paranormal. Or unexplained, right? Whatever.
Or SODs.
That'd be a lot, though.
Or SODs.
That'd be a lot.
Yeah.
SODs
TTABA would be cool because nobody would
yeah.
know what the hell it means unless you know our show. So,
Right. What the hell is that deal?
So, yeah, that's at 2,000 subscribers.
What? Let's get to 1,000 first.
Let's get to 1,000 so we can shave. Then we'll talk about ink.
Well, make sure everybody goes to Kelly's page and please subscribe. Go check out her videos.
They're amazing.
They're freaking awesome. The evidence she
You'll love
gets.
Oh, y'all are
And I
so
promise to finish watching your newest.
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
There's
just
so
click
much.
on the timestamps. So you can get to the good stuff real quick.
I want to watch the whole thing. I just
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
time
watch
during the
whole thing.
day is my problem, but yeah, I will definitely watch.
I get interrupted all day long.
So
Yeah.
Caroline says, get a beer of mug with a head transforming into a ghost.
I was trying to
Ooh.
do something like that.
That's
I
pretty
was trying
cool.
to redo the logo a little bit to incorporate a
ghost.
ghost.
I saw what you were doing. I think you
Beer
showed
and
me.
a
You want
ghost.
me to show you what
Yeah.
I'm getting Friday? I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, show us.
Okay, hold on. I got to get on my Pinterest tattoo
Sneak
board.
peek.
Right here. You saw it first.
Yes, it's coming. Okay, here it is. You ready? I found it. Can y'all see that?
Oh, that's cool.
I like
Nice.
that.
Very cool.
Looks like Cousin It reincarnated.
Yes.
cool.
That's
so
cool.
yeah, I'm getting that. And my daughter's middle name is Rose, and I'm getting a lot of the red in there. So I thought It's Friday the 13th, so I'm going to add the rose and get my little ghost tattoo. And,
Hold that up again. I want to bring it
Hold
up
that-
for everybody to see it.
oh, okay.
That's really cool.
That's really
like it.
cool.
It's feminine, but yet,
It's
honors.
subtle, it's soft, it's sweet, it's not scary.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
Yet it speaks volumes.
It does.
It's like it's 1,000 words without speaking.
And I thought about this one. Where is it at? Because we have just been in a pandemic and, we've survived.
It goes with a mask.
No.
Funny.
In
Those are
the
coming. I
Middle
swear to
Ages,
God, they're coming.
they had the long noses, the little mask. What were those called?
Yeah.
Oh, the old plague masks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Yeah. Where in my here. Like that. I mean, not that specific one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
They're coming.
yeah. Coming back.
That's cool.
Hey, and for Texas, I thought about this one. See, I have a whole board full of tattoos that I'm thinking. Look at that one.
Oh,
yep.
Longhorn. Well, I like that, but I'm Texas Tech, so I couldn't do that.
Well, you went for roses.
I'm not long.
You would put a rose, yeah. But
So I've got a million of them. Yeah.
that's cool.
This is my favorite.
Oh.
You ready for this? Okay.
I
So because I'm a teacher that's turned paranormal, what do y'all think about this one?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
That's cool.
that
That's
is
very cool.
awesome.
the apple that you
Yeah.
gave
Yes.
me, you're
There you
melting
go.
down to
Yes.
believing in paranormal.
That is
Yes.
very cool.
I like that.
That's cool.
I've got
That's
ideas.
a
I've
lot.
got ideas. So you heard it first here.
That was
there you
that
go.
was
Right.
very cool.
That's very cool. Yeah.
That had a lot of meaning.
And all of my tattoos actually have meaning. I didn't just get drunk and go, I want that one right there.
That's the best way to get a tattoo is having meaning behind it. Yep. Definitely.
You don't want to regret it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, all right,
cool.
guys. Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Kelly.
Yeah, y'all get some sleep.
Awesome.
Your little beards.
Well, it's early here.
Yeah, it's so
Oh.
early.
It's 10 o'clock.
We'll get some sleep
Past your bedtime.
Eventually.
eventually.
And some
All right. Bye,
And,
guys.
let's do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Till
well-
next
Send the
time.
link and I'll be there.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Have
bye.
a good night.
All right. Bye. She's awesome.
cool.
Very cool.
Wow.
Wow.
Can you? We've almost gone 3 hours.
Have we? Holy crap, we have.
Yeah, craziness, and we need to run our para family before we
Let's do that.
sign off. But before we sign off, we need to thank everybody that joined us tonight.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for joining us. And
Another big shout out to all of our veterans.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
happy birthday to the Marine Corps. and
Marine Corps.
Thank you,
Booyah.
all you veterans out there. Each and every day, what you do.
We think of
We
you
really
every
appreciate
day.
it. We do.
You deserve more than 3 days a year,
I
but
agree.
I think about it.
And none of us have beer left.
We have no beer, but we can still cheers.
We can still clink.
So,
Ah,
all right. Until next time.
has been the truth about beer and
Huh?
which I don't have the huh.
We'll get that. We'll get that.
We'll get it.
But
Happy
happy Veterans,
Veterans
Day.
Day.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
See you next week.
Take care. are wondering where to find the truth about beer and merchandise, you've come to the right place. BS Designs has all the merch you've been looking for, from t-shirts and koozies to the very collectible The Truth About Beer and Theme Gnomes. Visit BS Designs today.
If you're looking to fill up your man cave, she shed, or just looking to decorate or redecorate your house, please visit our good friends at Boomer's Department Stores. And while you're there, be sure to check out their blog page.
Whether you're an aspiring paranormal enthusiast or a seasoned professional, or perhaps you're just looking to add to your equipment inventory, look no further than Ghost Hunters Outlet. They have all your equipment needs. For a limited time, mention the word beer in the promotional code for additional savings. And be sure to watch The Truth About Beer and on YouTube.
Welcome to the Truth About